And I forgot to turn on audio on Streamlabs, of course. Hello. Where's sound? Here it is. It's in a bit of a delay, but yeah, here we are. Just gonna have my laptop set up. Hey, you're a bit soft there.
Hey,
Hey, there we go. There we go.
all right.
Hey, everybody. You've arrived. Yeah, we're getting sound. It's a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward streaming for since a few months, let alone having a guest and having this ridiculous model kit in front of me. Who's joining us? The man himself, Weston Harris, who designed the G Arcane full dress and the beam calivers, now known as, for the Gundam Far Act. So, among many other things. Now, why did you introduce yourself, Weston?
Sure. Um, hey, I'm Weston. I run Weston Harris Design on Instagram, and gosh, I've been building Gunpla since I think 2009.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I've been in this hobby for a long time. And in the past couple of years, I've started designing 3D printable kits and accessories for Gunpla. So like MJ said, I did the G Arcane full dress set. I did the 3D printable beam caliber set, and I've got a bunch of other stuff, and always working on something new too. Really, really cool to be joining in. I'm excited to see how the amazing Barbatos Lupus snaps together.
The amazing Barbatos Lupus. I really hate what Van I did with it. I I don't know if I told you this, Weston, but it's literally the day after that they announced the regular version of this one, because well, I based my purchase decision on the Linko Planet um, preview video, and I thought that well the sticker sheet says metallic, so yeah, there's probably not going to be a standard version, and then they announced the standard version.
It's always how it goes.
Yeah, it's always how it goes. Now, I get why they did that, because if they announced the standard version already, then nobody's gonna get the CD. So, yeah, I get what's happening behind it, but yeah, it's still, I still am not over it.
Yeah. But I mean, the metallic red looks really nice from the runner photos that you shared in the Discord
Yeah,
uh, earlier.
it does look pretty nice, but well, not obviously not in this lighting because yeah, and yeah, you guys can see I have a modified the UI a little bit. So the HUD, the UI, whatever. So I have a lot more elements that I need to work out. So yeah, the metallic red does look pretty good on camera, even in this lighting, and even in the animation. Like you can, like this is one thing that really bugs me about Build Metaverse, especially in episode 3. Like how the animation quality just completely changes between the build fighters and the original characters.
Yeah. Build Metaverse was I they had an opportunity to do a really cool like blending of universes style thing, and the story for it was just silly.
It's just silly. And yeah, by the way, chat, please let me know about the audio balance between the two of us because, yeah, I might need some adjusting to that, but yeah, just let me know whether or not the audio is good between the two of us. But yeah, Build Metaverse was quite silly. Like, even Gunpla Builders was better than it, even though it really relied on heavy plot devices towards the end.
I mean, even what was it? Builder Gundam Builders Beginning G,
Yeah,
that
that's
very
Gunpla
first
Builders.
one.
Yeah,
Like that was even like that was very transparently a Gunpla commercial, but like that was even more enjoyable than Metaverse for
Yeah.
me.
And arguably, it should have been just that instead of just forcing in plot and having a forced antagonist.
Yeah.
It should just be the journey through the hobby. I'd like to say I really like your video starting a review because it reminds me a lot of an old Gunpla reviewer I know. Oh yeah, Type V3. Everybody told me that my current style reminds them a lot of Type V3, and I'm honored to actually do a good enough job to match up to Type V3. I'm still nowhere as concise and articulate as Type V3, but I'm glad you guys found that similarity there. And by the way, PR4, I just started the build, but based on the photos that I've seen from Linko Planet, the red does mark quite a bit, but only time will tell. I've just started building after all. So what are you working on, Weston?
I am finishing up the high grade Danazine from Gundam 8.
Ah, the dragon from Gundam Age.
Yeah. Yeah, this had been sitting in my backlog for a couple of years. I had originally planned on using it for a vegan mobile suit themed planet style armor for the core Gundam.
Hmm.
And then I opened up the box for it and started looking at this and was like, this kit's kind of cool. I don't really want to sacrifice it for for a custom.
Hmm. Yeah, it's pretty
Uh,
unique.
yeah.
It's the green
I
one, isn't it?
yes.
Good to know. I'm glad you're not
Yeah.
thinking about sacrificing the purple one.
No. Oh, I would never.
Yeah.
That is one thing. Like I really wish that they did more of the vegan designs from Gundam Age because
Yeah.
I think those were the best designs from that series.
Even though they have quite a few flaws, like
Oh yeah.
I remember like the only ones that I've built are the Farsha and the Gundam Legolas. Both of them have their flaws, but they still have their own unique charm.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely a lot, like a very polycap heavy build, and the articulation is a little odd, but where else are you gonna get basically a high grade scale dragon?
I don't think anywhere else.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the Farsha doesn't have any polycaps, and I assume that extends to the Fawn Farsha as well.
Did it really have no polycaps at
No, the
all? It
Farsha
was just
doesn't have
black?
any polycaps.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I have one that I think I painted the gray parts, and that's just been in my Gunpla storage box for forever because I have no place to display it right now.
Aw, shame.
I know. It's such a great little kit.
Hmm. I would actually recommend checking out, but if in case you guys need a determining factor between the Farsha and the Fawn Farsha, is basically whether you want a pedestal or a magic wand. That's basically it. I wish we got a Chronos, to be honest. All we got is an advanced grade of it. Oh yeah, the Chronos.
Yeah. Yeah, they made some interesting choices with what got advanced grade and what got high grade, and I think some of them got both, right?
I think almost every high grade got an advanced grade beforehand, but
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like the Chronos was really the one that stuck out that didn't have a high grade. It's basically what, a Zetus parts variant or something?
Yeah, it's a Zetus, yeah, different colors, and then I think maybe a different weapon or
Twin
different head or
cannons on the
something.
back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So with the real grade our Granddaddy Gundam 2.0 being a thing, I have to wonder if the Zaku 2 GPO1 and Zeta real grades would also get 2.0 also. I'm not sure about that because I think they're only doing the 2.0 just because it's like Gundam's 45th anniversary and it being a momentous occasion. So I don't think it's gonna be that frequent of a thing, but I think, like, to me, I think they took advantage of the Freedom Gundam, real grade Freedom Gundam GCP, like what they did with that. So they did 1.5s and those worked out. So might as well just go ahead and do a 2.0. That's my thing. That's my guess.
It really did need a 2.0 too. I mean, I would argue the Zeta needs one more, but there are so many other great versions of the Zeta. The Master Grade Verka that recently came out
Yeah,
looks
I've heard great things
fantastic.
about it.
Yeah. I like that they stuck more to the anime proportions on that.
Hmm. Arguably, I would want to review the original RX-78 too, but I want to review it in a different form. Like, I'm only letting you guys in on this, but I saw the the Gundam Build Real version online for like 33 quid. So I'm thinking of reviewing that and taking a taking a look at that, and of course criticizing it where it needs to be criticized because sadly it doesn't come with a tactical hammer. So yeah. But I do plan to take a look at the 0079 real grades prior to the Granddaddy 2.0.
I think even considering their age, they're cool kits. Um, and I mean, even just like looking at how far the real grade line has come,
Yeah,
it's pretty astounding. Like they're basically mini master grades at this point.
yeah. I remember years back taking a look at the real grade unicorn and I was like, wow. I had my mind blown. Because,
Yeah, the
well, while
fact
it's
that
still a pre-molded frame, it has a full transformation.
yeah, that's super impressive.
Yeah. But then again, it's too solid for its own good, so yeah, that's points deducted.
I've seen a lot of people posting lately about, or at least on the Gunpla subreddit, about there's one step that everybody like breaks the shoulder on or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the shoulders on that thing are really prone to breaking, so people recommended using a lubricant on the shoulder joints.
Wow.
Let's take a look. I just want a good kit of the GPO1 full burner. Yeah, well the real grade at least has the visuals down. Let's get that right. But I don't know. Bandai seems to be focusing on the Engage series when it comes to the GP projects more than the actual GP project units. And I don't
The
know.
Engage.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Engage is cool, but yeah, like the GPO 1 through 3 need some love in high grade and master grade form.
Yeah,
Long overdue.
they've recently come out with the Robot Damacy GP00.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, and
It's a
it's the
cool
real
design.
GP00.
Yeah.
The safety knobs on this is really not that distinct. So I'm trying to be very careful with it. I'm filing the way pieces that it's not gonna be that out there anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. And yeah, by the way, if this is your first time seeing me build, don't question why I hold my nippers upside down. That's how I was taught, and I stuck with it. Which kit sold out very quickly? Gaki. I kind of missed it. What do you think of the Lightning Gundam? Well, it's just a re-Gs with the with different backpacks to customize it for different purposes. So yeah, it's kind of strike-ish, but at least it kind of gave some love to the re-Gs. The design is cool, I admit, pretty distinct. Which one of these three would you want to see more? Real Great Providence, Real Great Alex, and Real Great Double Zeta. Double Zeta, hands down. Like, I
Yeah,
think that's one of the mainline Universal Century leads that doesn't have a real grade. I think.
it doesn't even have a modern high grade, does it?
Well, oops. Personally speaking, I think the standard high grade is good enough. Like the ones
Okay.
that run the release back in the early 2010s. But if we really want to take the Double Zeta to the next step, it has to be real grade. Because there's no way a high grade is pulling that transformation off.
Yeah, that would be a really cool kit, but I can only imagine all the tiny parts that would have to go into making that
Yeah, but
compound transformation possible. I'm
yeah.
like,
But then again, we have the real great Gao Gaigar, so it's not exactly not doable.
oh yeah, that's true.
Like that's a combiner as well, and those we
Mhm.
and there's also the real great Goldie Mark, like the giant hammer truck thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and although
ultimate
you,
real grade challenge would be real grade Victory Gundam.
oh yeah, try to not make it suck like the Master Grade
Yeah.
version Ka.
Ugh. I I built the Verka and then I think I got the V Dash as a birthday gift shortly after it came out, and it's been sitting in my backlog half built because I just don't want to build another Victory Verka.
Yeah,
It looks beautiful, but
can't get the camera to focus. But anyways, here's the head done. It's just a different V fin, so I don't know. I don't know where Mage's essence lies in, but back to Victory. I really struggled to get through the Victory reviews because they're just so boring. Like, the Victory 2 Assault Buster just has a lot of stuff. The second V I really liked, in terms of high grade, that is. And I bought the
yeah.
Victory V Dash, like the high grade V Dash, just to have a complete collection. And I found it so boring. Have you seen Seed Freedom yet, MJ? Saw it yesterday and was really good. I wouldn't agree on the latter part, but yes, I have seen Seed Freedom, and visually it is very good. Like, I haven't seen such characterful animation ever since like both Divers. So yeah, it's a movie. It has to have movie grade animation, but still, it's a breath of fresh air in terms of visuals. Real grade Gundam X, Gaki, are you sure? Either way, hear me out. High grade Zaku 4. Yeah, Moon needs more love. Not just the
Now we're
Zaku 4. Moon's need no. The Dark Doll. I think that I think that needs that needs a high grade.
I'm waiting so patiently for more like the Dag Doll with anything from Moon Gundam. I'm surprised that we still only have Moon and the Vargile.
Yeah, well the Vargwell is basically just a retooled Moon Gundam, and I have a duplicate of the Moon Gundam prepped for me to paint into the Vargwell Gundam head type. But yeah, Moon needs more love, and it is getting. Like how could we get the Engage Zero and Engage Gundam and not have another Moon kit?
Especially since Moon is actually like animated in the Engage game, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's heavily promoted to be one of like the big attractions of Engage.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows Bandai at
HGG
this point?
doors would be cool. Oh, real grade Turn A would be incredible.
Yeah, with the fully transformable cockpit, and of course they're
Oh,
gonna take advantage of that and make a real great P Bandai Moonlight Butterfly effects, just like the good old Sea Destiny days, eh?
I would buy it.
I would if for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
High grade G doors one. Oh yeah, good point. Where's the G doors? But then again, we're getting weird high grades like the high grade Boleanox Saman or something like that.
I was surprised to see that announced, but also equally surprised that we had not yet gotten a high grade of that. Because that was the only one of Scirocco's suits that did not have a kit yet,
That's odd.
I think.
I thought the 2010s were quite comprehensive in that front. Like there were a lot of Zeta designs coming around, like that
Yeah.
came out back then. I think we might be witnessing another like gunpla boom or something like that, because of the recent hobby event and the stuff they announced. Like I cannot believe the high grade Psycho Gundam Mark II is not premium Bandai. Like, just imagine
So
that. Two big kits in the retail market, one of which was teased and not P Bandai.
I could see them doing a P Bandai version of the Psycho Mark II
How?
that's in Advance of Zeta colors, though.
Hmm. Let me have a look at that. Perhaps. Perhaps. But anything Advance of Zeta.
Yeah, I mean they could keep, they could print one design from that every year and just,
Yeah.
basically have the whole premium Bandai market set
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Still waiting on the Aqua Hyzently though, eh?
Yeah. All of or not all, but a lot of the AOZ reboot designs are like I feel like sometimes I'll be scrolling through Instagram and I'll see illustrations that are clearly from some volume, um, like of the AOZ reboot, and I'm like, I've never seen this design before in my entire life, but it looks amazing, and I need a kit of it right now. I still am hoping that they do a high grade rehighs.
Ah, it's basically the TR6 Hyzently. So yeah, a bit of
Yeah,
retooling on that would do. And to answer your question, Potato, I am a little bit concerned about how this thing is gonna handle the amazing booster Tenshiki, the baby Hashmal. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But back to Advance of Zeta, if I may be so bold, high grade non Brabi. The construction variants of the Hyzak, the Hambrabi, and the Bound Dock.
that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm not that into the low Zack, however, but I could imagine that happening because we have what I can see to be a very decent high Zack mold, and they're reusing it for the high Zack custom. So maybe a high
Mhm.
grade low Zack isn't exactly off the table. So if they would actually make the three construction trio, like the non-Brabi, the low Zack, and whatever the Bound Dock was called, I'm definitely jumping on those.
I feel like those kits they'd have to open up like a premium Bandai shop to do that. Those would be those would be probably the most obscure kits they could possibly do, or obscure designs, I should say.
Yeah, well, there's more obscure when it comes to Advanced Zeta. Like, I never knew about the Aqua Hambrabi before my review of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And interesting that it's called that when it's just two like aquatic crudidos.
Well, according to their lore, the Hurudu 2, or well, the the Hammurabi 2 or something like that. One of their predecessors was the inspiration of the Hammurabi's mobile armor mode, which I find absolutely crazy, but whatever, just roll with the punches. And
Yep.
from there, they developed the Hammurabi 2, and then with the Aqua Jet boosters and Aqua Shield boosters, they attached onto the the Hammurabi 2, which makes it the Aqua Hammurabi 2. So the Hammurabi's origins didn't like stem from an actual mobile suit. It stemmed from the drum frame. Like everything just surrounds the drum frame in Zeta.
Truly.
No, I wish we go. Is there a Gelgoog 3? I
Oh, that's in that might be a Moon Gundam design.
might be. That's probably why I haven't heard of it. Apparently, this year is 35th anniversary of War in the Pocket. Here's hoping there are reissues of the high grade Hygog and Re 100 Zaku 2 Kai. Hopefully, this year is also the 10th anniversary of G Reco, and in Quadrant 3, we haven't heard of anything for it. Instead, we're getting a ton of high grade Universal Century, Build Fighters, Double O reissues. We haven't heard anything for G Reco apart from the annual reissue of the Perfect Pack, which is an absolute shame.
I've got my fingers crossed for G Reco news. They are reissuing the G Self with the atmospheric pack.
Since when?
I saw it on
Please, I need an
yeah, like
full.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
when I started doing the 3D printed kits, I started my first full kit was the Rec-10 from G Reco.
Yeah,
And I still want to go back and do more G Reco designs because the designs are fantastic, and it's
Yeah.
really a shame that so few of them ended up getting kits.
yeah. Like, I would at least want to have a Mazraster, just to have the final trio together, like the Kapakali, the Jastima, and the Mazraster.
Yeah.
And if possible, high grade Dharma, please, for my Dahak. Just a spitball idea.
I think you asked me a while ago if I could make that, right?
Yeah, well, it's just a spitball idea that I just threw out. I'm not exactly taking it seriously. Well, you made a Yggdrasil, so
I did. That was like I made that because I thought it was funny.
yeah. I would want to do a gag review of that, but I'm sure that it's gonna be a massive hassle to paint,
It's
especially with
actually not.
well on top of having stuff backed up. Yeah, sure, but
Sure. Yeah.
by itself it shouldn't be. So
Mhm.
if I do go in the direction of gag reviews, I hope to have one of those and just talk 30 minutes about it. It's a gag review. There's no need to be taken too seriously.
Yep. I mean, it's a gag review, and the mobile armor looks like a pyramid.
Yeah,
Nothing about it should be taken seriously.
yeah. And I can't believe they have to hire like somebody as high class as Ipig Yobu to design that thing.
Yeah.
Hoped we get the high grade Seer eventually. No, the Gundam Seer from IBO Gecko has never been revealed. The story has never continued. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna ever see a high grade kit of the Sierra. What I really want to see, because off the back of the games and Uruzu Hunt, I want to see a high grade Gundam Zagan. Just to have another 7-star in my collection. Like that's the only most viable option. Like among the Gundam frames, the Valkyria frames that we got from the game, I don't think we're ever gonna see them in high grade form. Oh my god, the polycap baldwin is just not good. But if we have to have another Uruzu Hunt design in high grade form, the high grade Zagan has to be it. Technically, real grade virtual won the poll too. Yeah, a lot of polls have gone unfulfilled. Master grade G Cell version Ka, real grade virtue, high grade Destiny Impulse. A lot of them have gone unfulfilled. So that's why the real grade Epion was such a surprise. A gag review would be getting the turn A turning high grade. I have gotten the turn A high grade, and I've reviewed it when I was just trying to get used to my current format. So it is a bit rough, and I think I've got the wrong collar piece on. For God's sake, it's just a collar piece. It's fine.
I have one of the old non-grade 1/144th scale sumo kits from Turn A.
I thought about getting one of those. How are they?
I haven't built it yet, but I've scoured through the parts and looked at the manual a bunch already. They're very simple. The molds on it, some of the details are not terribly sharp, but it's the only way you're going to get a 1/144th scale sumo.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, but yeah, hopefully the kit is at least somewhat good, so I can think about getting one of those.
Yeah. When I want to paint it up and do something nice with it, so I'll share it in the Discord once I'm done and let you know. Those are kind of hard to find now, though.
Yeah. Though if I ever return to Hong Kong and find one of those, then sure, I'm gonna go ahead and get it.
Yeah. Also, thank you for the warning on the waste potato. I will be sure to remember that.
What?
The waist on the sumo is a single peg, and it breaks very easily.
Oh no.
Gotta love those old kits.
Yeah. Well, I have the non-grade Turn X, so yeah, gotta love it. The peg on the backpack broke.
Oh man.
Well, to be fair, I bought it built. It has
Okay.
stains on it, so I couldn't exactly. I could chalk it up to degradation.
Yeah, I've got that Turn X as well, and the 1/144th flat as well. The
Oh, the
polycaps
flat.
on that are starting to disintegrate, though.
Yeah. Glue the waist, repeat, glue the waist. Hello, Mr. Convoy. Yep. This is an example of me cocking up. Get the Atlas Gundam Railgun. Tips for the Talkies 3. The oldest kits I got recently were the Master Grade Sword Impulse and the Great Shinmusha Gundam. That's not that old. Like, for their age, they're pretty decent as far as I can tell. I mean, they reused the Impulse mold for the Blast Impulse, so how bad could it be? Okay, new collar. There goes the mouthpiece, but the connection is much better. So yeah, I guess this is the kit's way of telling me that I'm doing something wrong. Because I was it's just continuing to blabber away without looking at the instructions, that's why. Total MGK move there. How to fix the Core Gundam 2's abs? Well, in the case of my Plutine Gundam, I basically just swapped out the polycaps. Like, ironically, IBO polycaps work better than the ones they have in there. So that goes to show like how bad the Pluton Gundam's apps are. And speaking of old kits, I have personally thoughts of getting like the original 1 to 144th scale AG and 1 to 144th scale Agugai. Like those old kits from way back when. I think they got reissued from time to time.
Oh yeah.
I thought of getting one of those, and to be honest, they aren't really that hard to paint because because the color they come in is one of their colors, and the panels they need, sure, they need a little bit of masking, but they're pretty large chunks to begin with. So I think the most time consuming process is to glue the parts together. But apart from that, I don't see them as much of a challenge. Although, yes, I do have the 1 to 144th scale goon, so I could be very easily proven wrong there. Yeah, Mage is just trolling with you. Another high grade we wish could get is a Master Grade Knight Gundam. You immediately contradicted yourself, Red Knight. Ditto with the goon. MJ, I don't remember if you mentioned, but how did you get this kit? Oh god. I haven't mentioned it to anybody, but I got it from eBay. By a seller known as Omakase Japan. At least they got the kit to me through FedEx. And in very good shape as well, so props to that. But still, the amounts they charge just because of metallic coating and the CD is just ludicrous. So I'm taking the fall for you guys here. I got this kit and I'm gonna be reviewing it 3 months ahead of its actual release. So you guys can make a call for whether or not you want to pick up the actual one. Did it come with the CD? Yes, it did come with the CD. Actually, Menja, I meant to ask you, during your time in Hong Kong, did you even find some of those Gaia Gear kits? No, I haven't. I don't think I have encountered Gaia Gear at all in Hong Kong.
There are Gaia Gear kits? I had no idea.
Probably some garage kits or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, old B Club resin kits for Gaia Gear. I never knew that.
Oh.
Hmm. Let me take a look at the chat to see what we're missing on, because I'm afraid of running out of things to talk about. Like, imagine if the gun. Oh, we're talking about IBO stuff. MJ, what do you think will be next Master Grade in the next month? Maybe, I don't know. Probably Seed Freedom stuff. Probably a Master Grade Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam for all I know.
They really picked the goofiest possible name for that.
I've heard that it's from a reference to something, but it's still pretty on the nose there. Like they literally
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of spoilers because everybody's been spreading around this on Twitter anyway. Like there's like this canopy unit that the Seed Freedom Zagok docks into, and they call it the Amazing Zagok, and I was like, come on. Even if it's a reference, try to steer away from actual names that have been used. Like we have an Amazing Zagok. Oh, because it's all caps, it's a different name. Still.
I wonder if that Amazing Zagok was planned like was part of the original movie plan back in like 2008 or whenever they started writing it.
I don't know, genuinely. One of the fins just escaped from the mat. Oh, there we go. Thankfully my dorm room has no nooks and crannies, so everything that is not on the floor is on the desk. So I shouldn't be afraid of losing parts while I'm here.
Yeah, as long as you don't have a carpet to eat the polycaps, you'll be fine.
Well, it's technically it is a carpet, but I can still find stuff there.
Okay.
It's not like those fuzzy carpets that you find in typical houses. I'm just in the dorm room. And yeah, the G Self Torque Pack has no kit either. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. That's one I want to do a 3D printable kit of. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, and especially because I I've read Gundam Build Divers Break, and for those people who complain about the GLs having no backpack, it did use the torque pack.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, granted, it's the before version, so still.
Okay. I mean, it still uses probably the most underused of all the G Self's backpacks.
Yeah. And
Like
imagine,
I'm glad it got some extra scenes in the movie version because it truly did nothing in the anime.
yeah, I need to rewatch the movies at some points, but yeah, and I'm really glad that the return fight from the Venus Globe got completely reanimated.
Yeah.
Because we finally get to see the G Arcane's alt mode, the biggest thing that they've ignored in the proper series. And we got to see how devastating the photon torpedoes actually are. Like they've completely just downplayed it in the series proper, but in the movies it was just terrifying to say the least.
Yeah, that was a very impactful scene.
Yeah. Hey Anurag, and for Amazing, Mighty, and etc., Justice could have been Ultimate Justice or Amazing Justice. Um, yeah, I've seen that message from my Discord server. The only prefix they didn't use was Ultimate, and if they want to make it Ultimate Legend Gundam, like the Legend Gundam needs more love than what it got. Really, with the Agito jokes now, potato. And well, if they do Destiny, it would be Survive Destiny or some wacky stuff like that. Oh my god. I really hope they don't touch the Cosmic Era anymore. Like, I'm really up to here to with the Cosmic Era. Like I've been discussing.
Given how successful, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Given how successful this movie has been already, there's no way they're going to be done with Cosmic Era stuff. I I think it would be nice if they animated some of the side, or I guess
Fair enough.
whatever side story the Red Frame is in.
Fair enough. The plethora of Astray side stories.
Yeah. Like we can be done with Kira and the gang.
Yeah,
It's okay.
definitely. Definitely. I've had enough of them.
Yeah.
By the way, notice anything new in this? So far, new V-fin, new collar, new shoulder pads, and that's all I've gotten to. I can build one of these with my eyes closed, but I really don't want to mess this up.
So MJ, I actually wanted to ask you, you've built a ton of IBO Gundams at this point. Which
Yeah.
one has been your favorite build and which has been your least favorite build?
excluding the Hajiroboshi second form, because obviously it's in transit now. Guys, don't worry. I know I made that post a month ago, but yeah, excluding the Hajiroboshi second form, I would want to say that, which is it? Either the original Barbatos, or there's just so many of them, or the Dantalian would be one of my favorites. I'm guessing. Well,
Okay.
yeah, the Dantalian, because obviously the big arms. Well,
Yeah.
the rest of them just cannot handle themselves. Well, the ones I have here now, I have the Bale and the Chimaris Vidar here. They've they fare themselves well, but the rest of them are just, oh my god. Like, in hindsight, they're just not that good. I'd done a re-review of the entire Tekanon squad, and the Barbatos Lupus Rex wasn't really that as good as it was back in the day. And even then, it was still not that good because of all the cut corners.
Oh yeah.
I would want to excuse that. I would excuse the Dantalian because of its like uniqueness, but my least favorite definitely is either the Barbatos Lupus Rex, the Asmodee, or the Marcosius. Those, despite being one of like the few higher end IBO kits, they've managed to butcher it astoundingly, especially the Asmodee.
Really? That one. I don't feel like it had a lot of stuff on it. Were the polycap fit ups just not good?
It's not really about the polycaps, although yes, the waist on mine wasn't that good. It's just stuff that nobody mentioned. Like, the proportions are completely off, although I know some are taken from the concept and the in-game models. The head I can't take seriously because of the big, cute eyes. For a king of lust, you have big, cute eyes. And of course, the stickers and the color accuracy is just completely off. Like,
Yeah.
the gray needs to have a tinge of blue in there, and it's just completely light gray, and it just looks too pristine on top of being incorrect. It's like looking at a fresh Hill over. It just looks wrong without any sort of gunk.
Yeah.
High grade seed
I
is good.
really like.
Yeah, I was reading chat. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say I really like the Asmodee in theory. Like I think the color scheme of it is great, but it's one of those designs that I just don't love quite enough to want to get the kit.
The kit itself should. I mean, the design itself is pretty good. The concept is good. I really like how subtly they reference the demon in all of its weapons. But it's just that the kit is not engineered that well.
Mm.
Like, if they at least got the proportions right, I could just chug along, get the colors right, be done with it. Because, yeah, its weapons are pretty good. Like, I like that it uses tonfas and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good character in Uruzu Hunt as well. Like, part of one of the most triumphant moments of IBO I've ever seen. But I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil it if you're gonna take a look before the movie comes out. I'd rather have Proto Vidar. You'd rather have the XK. Come on. We have enough Chimaris variants already. Like, at this point, the Chimaris has more variants than the Barbatos. Can you imagine that?
I wouldn't say no to a 1/100 scale Kimaris Vidar though.
Me neither. But we are still due a Massacre Flauros. So imagine the
Yeah.
likelihood of that happening.
Pretty low.
Pretty low. Yeah. Wait a minute. Bro, I know you're the embodiment of lust, but for fuck's sake, Asmodeus, do you love stickers that much? It isn't fault of the kit. It's just Ipig Yobu going off the walls. Granted, it's not as egregious as Okawara. Like, come on, inlining every thruster, come on. But it's just that the design is just way too much for a high grade. Speaking of kits and game accuracy, it's frustrating that only the high grade for the gyms got the colors right for the white dingoes from Gundam Side Story Rise of the Ashes. I'm not the judge on that, so yeah, I'll have to take your word for it. Imagine if they had broadened beyond the 72 lesser key demons and gone into like the Dictionary Infernal. I wish. Like the full Infernal Dictionary in Gundam form. But that would have to be another series though. Phoenix is a weird case because it's been used in narrative already. A lot of the demons have been used in Gundam. Like, Halfus has been an SD original. Barbatos has actually been an SD original.
Oh yeah.
And let me see. Phoenix, obviously, they could just reuse the name if I'm honest. And technically, Astaroth and Versago have been used because Gundam X. Hello, Shrakus. Can you make regular Lupus with this kit? Yes. Yes, there is all the parts you need to make a regular Barbatos Lupus with this thing. Astaroth. Yeah, Bichigaki. I mean, they can technically use a different spelling for Phoenix in the post-disaster, but who knows? Given what we know now of the 7 stars, I don't think that's the Bakalzan Gundam Bakalzan family Gundam frame. That's like if they use Nibirius for the Triceratops. Oh yeah, Nibirius is one of the 72 demons. I forgot. Gee, Lucifer. Okay. I know a lot of you guys probably don't know about this, but there has been a Gundam Lucifer in Gundam Wing already. So yeah, we're not strangers to Bandai reusing names for a different Gundam series. And this time it's just word for word. Not the oh, you're talking about the Gundam Leopard. Okay. I've heard that apparently the Dual Gundam is one of the worst high grades out there. That's true, especially with the high grade new Dual on the way. I really want to take a look at the original Dual Gundam Assault Shroud. But then again, I have a lot of stuff backed up, more on the way. So, yeah, I would want to take a look at those kits before the Dual Blitz and the Lightning Buster come out. But yeah, speaking of which, apart from the stuff that we talked about, what do you think about the rest of the announcements from this hobby event?
Gosh, other than the real grade, I feel like the real grade kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
What else was in that? Like, I'm most excited for the 30 minutes missions armored core kits. I think those are going to be incredible.
Yeah, I have those pre-ordered because so many people want me to review that.
Yeah, those are going to be. I hope anyway that those are very successful and lead to many more releases, because that's like the Armored Core series was made for 30-minute mission style kits.
That's probably why they branded it under 30-minute missions instead of high grade.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hopefully they will be good. I'm going to be taking a look at those if my pre-orders were quick enough. Knowing HLJ, probably not.
Yeah, they take their time. I haven't ordered from them in a long time, but I remember their shipping being pretty slow. not pretty slow, but on the slower side.
No, I just know them for them being infamously having everything on back order. So I really just
Yeah.
don't want to be shoved into the queue because I was like, I don't know, 3 hours late from when they first dropped the links. So hopefully I have them coming along alongside the other stuff.
What else do you have pre-ordered from the new announcements?
New announcements. I have the Armor Core kits. I have the Seed Freedom Duo. I have the Real Grade Granddaddy 2.0, and I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's it because obviously I'm not gonna get a standard version of these unless I really need the parts for custom, and I don't care any less for the Double O Command Quanta Desert type. Like it's
Yeah, that
literally Leopard Da Vinci but no action and no face.
I'm not sure why they thought that would be a good follow-up release.
Uh,
Like it's just a color swap, right? Did they change anything else about it?
no. I get it. To be fair, the you can say the same for the Perfect Strike Freedom Rouge. However, that is not a faceless unit that has an actual character behind it. So if you somehow like Seria's character, then go ahead. That's like her only unit.
Yeah.
But for the Desert Command Quanta, like it was just displayed alongside the amazing Barbatos Lupus. Hasn't seen any action, has no builder behind it. So why? And I don't know how many people will want me to review Luna Maria, but I bet it's too late to get a pre-order in now. It's a second chance for the people who missed the old Command Quanta. Well, if you look at it from that aspect, then yeah, sure. But at the same time, Bandai is most notable for releasing like actually noteworthy designs. Like the rest of this, like something like this would just get chucked into P Bandai. But then again, they've been doing complete opposites currently. Like, can you imagine how pissed I am when I heard that the gun node is a premium Bandai kit?
That did not surprise me at all. It really seems like as soon as as soon as Witch from Mercury ended, they were like, okay, any other future Witch from Mercury kits we do are just going to be P Bandai.
They know that the Gundam Caliban is an Avengers Endgame level success.
Yeah.
Anything that they're gonna do is just not gonna top it. So yeah, just chuck it into premium Bandai. Why not? Oops.
I think it's silly that the gun node and the Lefrith pre-production type are both P Bandai.
Yeah.
Those should have been normal releases.
Yeah, those should have been normal releases for sure.
As
Especially for
well
those.
as the option set with all the Ace unit upgrades. But that's I guess a good thing about having all the 3D printed kits.
Yeah. That's like one of the primary reasons why I'm still getting them from you.
Yep.
Just so that people have another option, even if it has to come shipping from America.
Yeah, for those of you in the chat who do not know, or if you came in after I introduced myself at the beginning, I design 3D printable Gundam kits and accessories, and that includes the upgrade sets for the Darrellbald and the Michaelis and the Feract.
And I have reviewed one of them, and I can attest that even with a softer resin that my buddy printed them in, it's still pretty good. And arguably much less of a hassle compared to Bandai's version. Yes, I get that it has the sliding shroud and stock, but you'll have to flip out a tiny peg in the rear section in order to connect the two, which you don't have to do with the 3D printed version.
Yep.
What music did I use in the Typhoeus Gundam review? That's called That One Bar Scene. That's like one of my favorite tracks to use for like heavy powerhouses like the Typhoeus Gundam. Yeah, why P Bandai Gundam? Who knows? And I also have a feeling that Bandai will release a high-grade Gundam Zagan as the next high-grade IBO kit. Why am I not surprised? Though I do believe that they might be releasing that one form of the Gundam Hachiroboshi that's teased in the promotional photo of the Uruzu Hunt continuation movie. If not, if the Backlazans are going to be involved, their Gundam frame before the Gundam Zagan. Nah, I don't know. I'm just that cynical. Wait, do you have the Wish for Mercury option set available? It's in transit with all of my P Bandai stuff. And as Knights605, shout out to him, he helps me acquire the stuff that I still need to pay for. I'm going to be paying him back like tomorrow. So yeah, no harm, no foul. But he can attest that a lot of stuff is coming my way, with the G-Wish option set included. No, I don't mean the Elector. Like, if you take a look at the promotional image they showed for the Uruzu Hunt movie, there is a reflection that is a mix of the Hajiroboshi's second form and the high-grade and the Marcosius. And I believe the Japanese are already doing a kit batch of that. So I believe that's going to be the next IBO high grade, alongside the Asmodee upgrade. I swear, if the regular ALZ High Zag is P Bandai, I will riot. Sorry, Forklift. Anything Advanced Zeta is a P Bandai. Licensing issues. What's your opinion on the Gundam Zagan? I really like it, to be honest. I won't want to go into spoiler territory, but just talking about the machine specs alone, I really like that it fights with its bare fucking fists.
That's the one with the big fold-out claws.
Yeah, the one with the shield pliers on the back.
Yeah.
Like, Agnika has nothing going on when compared to who is it? Arzona Issue, I believe. I forgot the I forgot the pilot's name, but yeah, I believe it's Arzona Issue. Imagine, even the founder of Gatahor needs two swords while you just fight with your bare fists against a mobile armor as large as like Harael. Like, if you've seen some screenshots and whatnot from the game, you'll know that the mobile armors are just massive units there. Like, I don't.
Is the high grade Ashmal in scale with the high grade IBO line, or not really?
It, from what I can remember, it is in scale, but there is just even larger targets out there, if you know what I mean.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and to note that they are taking names from the Semha Miforash, I believe that's what it's called. Basically, the antithesis of the 72 demons, there are 72 angels, and they're taking names from that. So we should assume that there are at least 72 of these things out there, excluding the alpha and beta variants. So you could imagine what kind of a tragedy the Calamity War really is, if you know they had to fight at least 72 of these things. What do you mean, what, Rex? I can't wait for Asmodeus to add 2 more kilos of stickers for his upgrade. I think that they have kind of toned it back for the Asmodee upgrade based on what we've seen from the trailer. So yeah, I hope it wouldn't be that big of a nightmare, but still, if they're going to be reusing the Asmodee mold in any way, I'm just going to modify the eyes. Too cute. MJ, can you repeat the name of the music again? How do you spell bars? That's one bar scene. SCENE. Oh yeah, we only just see the Hashmal. We should have seen more. There are quite a few cool angels to choose from. 72 of them. Speaking of P-Bandai, just ordered the Johnny Raiden Gelgoog. Have fun with that. I just finished reviewing the Gelgoog Menace. However, I have a few shots that I need to do when I get home this weekend. So, unfortunately, that video would have to wait until Sunday to come out. Rex refers to Hajiraboshi as the Espectia Elector. Fair enough. Well, you're gonna say something?
Oh, nope.
Hmm.
Just mumbling to myself,
Yeah.
building the final hands on the Danazine, and then this will be done, and I will finish up the Lafrith, whichever one has the short legs. I can't remember which one
the
that
Thorn.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would argue that looking at this thing on camera right now, I believe the animation justifies it being metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I took a look at the standard release photos. Like, sure, it's still CGI, but I don't think flat colors could ever come to could ever be as rich as this thing. So, yeah, it's totally not me trying to vindicate myself. Totally not.
I mean, for metallic injection molded parts, those actually do look like they look very nice.
Depends on the kit, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean, like I feel like they still have not figured out how to do gold right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see once the Mighty Strike Freedom comes out. They're advertising the gold to be one of those selling points.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And we did actually have like a sneak peek of the runners from... I don't know where Gunpla Nerd has his sources, but there was a spin of some of the runners from the April to June releases of Seed Freedom. And the gold, it doesn't look that good on camera, let's be honest. It looks glossier, from what I can tell, but it doesn't look that good on camera.
I will say...
Go ahead.
The Gyan looked really nice.
Oh my god, don't get me started with the Gyan.
That does something in the movie, huh?
It's not the movie, but of course, yeah, it's something in the movie. But the unit itself isn't really that tied to the character. It's just that I hate how they richened up the blue when it doesn't need to be richened up. Like, if you take a look at the chest of the kit versus the line art, like, come on. And I'm extra disappointed now because I know that the Gelgoog Menace and the Black Knight Squad Rudra has accurate colors. They're completely capable of molding them accurately, and they didn't for the Gyan. It's like they're deliberately trying to mess with me at this point.
The Bandai execs are watching your stream right now.
I bloody hope so. I bloody hope so.
It really is interesting, though, how some kits will come out, and you can take one look at the runners and be like, this is totally color accurate. I don't feel like I need to paint it. Unless, you know, there are smaller details that, like, stickers cover.
Stickers.
And then some kits,
yeah.
like the Lafrith Thorn.
Oh yeah, the Lafrith or Lafrith Thorn, one of the more infamous examples from G Witch. And To be honest, I get if people like those colors, but then again, it takes something as egregious as the Rose in Zulu and the Asteroid No Name for people
Oh,
to wisen up to how Bandai's messing up these colors. Like the Astray No Name is one of the primary examples.
I forgot all about the high grade rosin Zulu. I got a clear version of that from a convention many years ago.
And I don't think it will matter anyway because it's clear.
Yeah. Well, no, the clear colors actually look really nice.
Hmm.
But then I remember seeing, I think it was um the like repaired loadout that it has,
The episode
and
7 version.
it was like brown.
I think the episode 7 version was their way of fixing what they've messed up.
Yeah.
Bandai heard the Witch from Mercury kits did well, so they made the Gyan just like them. Come on, Gaki. I understand your feeling about Bandai doing the exact opposite of what you're hoping. Like, I mean, just get colors right. Come on. Like, the I'm not afraid to admit it. I've seen Mecha Gaikotsu's review of the um Metal Robot Damashi Rising Freedom, and just seeing him compare it to the high grade, it's nothing about what he said or anything. It's just placing them side by side, and it's like, come on, they got the colors right for the Metal Robot Damashi version, and it just proves my point even further about how the high grade has the wrong blue. Recency bias personified. I'm not talking about his content. I'm just talking about like he's like one of the only people who put the Metal Robot Damashi Rising Freedom against the high grade, and it's like, yep, my point's proven even further. Metal build and high grades are so different, but then again, they still know how to mix colors.
Like it depends on where they're manufactured.
Yeah,
But I guess if they're manufacturing both of them out of plants that they own, then the Robot Damashi department needs to talk to the high grade department so they can coordinate on
definitely.
getting the right colors.
Yeah, definitely. I get that Metal Robot Damashis are just painted, so it isn't really exactly in the same ballpark, but then again, come on.
Yeah.
What is it? Maybe a Massacre Rising Freedom could fix that? Hopefully so. Like if they mess up colors on a master grade, if it isn't part of their design liberties, then I have nothing to say. Wish they got the blue on the new. Hey, BJC, you got my point there. Why did Shinanju just call Shinanju not Shinanju Stein Custom or something like that? Most mobile suits, when they get modified, the name got no longer, but in Shinanju Stein, it got shorter. I think it's a what came first, like, kind of situation. Like, they rose the lore of the Shinanju Stein backwards, I believe. So that's why the Shinanju is the Shinanju and not like the Shinanju Stein Custom or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the Universal Century.
Unicorns started as novels, and then the whatever that prequel story was with the Sinanju Stein and the Silver Bullets came after.
So they did write the plot backwards.
Yes.
So that explains everything. I still can't believe Bandai made a reskin of the Force Impulse retail but paywall the entire G Gundam squad. Like, what's the thought process there? It's like I get the frustration. I genuinely get the frustration. And yet we still cannot get a real great Blast Impulse. That's my gripe. But yeah, they pushed out a reskin, a minor reskin of the Force Impulse Gundam real grade out into the retail market. Like the only, you know what the difference is between the two, except for the colors.
There's like some different decals, right?
Yeah, different text decal. Well, just the text ones are different. Still
Oh,
different decals nonetheless, and just one runner of color coding parts, and that's it. So yeah, I genuinely don't get what the thought process of that is. And G Gundam, I think they just didn't want to take the risk. Like G Gundam, I don't know how well it was received back in Japan, but yeah, I couldn't comprehend it anyway. Yep. Yeah, Gaki, you basically took the words out of our mouths. Isn't Advanced Zeta also backwards? I think it is. Like, Advanced Zeta didn't exist when Zeta existed.
yeah, Advance of Zeta was long after Zeta came out.
Yeah. Yep. Just need polycaps and the size crystal completes it. Oh. So far, largely the same build. Double Zeta wouldn't need a revive, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't need it. It's been reused twice. Albeit, one of those is reusing itself, so yeah. Color and decal variant. Yeah, color and decal variant. One runner of new parts, yeah. Is G... Well, G Gundam was especially heartbreaking. Yeah, I get it. Especially if you want to rep your own country with the Shuffle Alliance. Advanced Zeta is going backwards. I'm amazed that the EG New Gundam doesn't have a complete version yet with the fin falls, despite it being one of the most beloved Gundams ever. I don't think they want to pay more attention to it, to be honest. But then again, we have the option parts set. Like, the option parts line. So, maybe fin funnels there? Who knows? I don't know. They might literally just use this line to be an excuse and reissue everything from the weapon sets from before. I don't know. But there's still a potential they make completely new striker packs for the EG Strike, so there's that possibility.
Does the EG New require you to use the funnels from the high grade if you want funnels?
Yes. Funnels, bazooka, beam saber effect parts. Yeah.
Wow.
That is unless you have the FF version, which does have its own funnel. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any of the other weapons.
I do really like that one giant funnel, though.
Yeah. I like how it started out as a glorified stabilizer, but then again, it became a complete icon of a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like the real grade version. Like, because it auto-morphs.
Oh, does it have like you pull on one thing and the whole thing opens up?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Hopefully Bandai will release some high-grade kit from the Gundam Werewolf spin-off and Silver Phantom. Silver Phantom, I believe they would just reuse the Delta Kai mold. But Werewolf, I haven't seen any of the designs from that, so it's a bit of a stretch, but still, maybe, I don't know. If they want to release manga designs, I better hope they consider releasing a high-grade Oberon.
Yeah.
I don't care if they don't have the Chobham armor. I believe people would just buy the O and make it like Seed Freedom Zagok style. But if they release a Masala Glaston, I'm hopping on that train. The concept of a comically large funnel is both awesome and intimidating. Yeah, like the double horn funnels of the Zaza BFF.
the lobster claws.
Yep.
It's so goofy.
Yeah. Here it is with the waist. To be honest, they managed to produce something that looks cohesive even when they remove color apps from the original Barbatos. So it's impressive.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity. But I like the experience of building master grade and high grade though. Well, to each their own. EGL Strike backpack will look so good on a high grade Red Rider. Please use it. Oh my god. I don't know if I have a universal to single hole adapter. I think I might have some in my parts box, but I'm not sure. And it's coming in May anyway, so and because like transporting luggage between my dorms and my home being like a 2 hour journey, it's just not that convenient. I'm only gonna be bringing kits that I will necessarily need to my dorms. So obscure references or just random combo tests I will probably not be doing until I move out of here. So just to avoid inconvenience. But I'll give the Red Rider L Strike combo some consideration. Or higher Universal Century Game Arc would be cool as well. Oh yeah, the Game Arc.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully this is the dawn of another Zeta Gundam Renaissance in the high grade line, just like the early 2010s.
That would be pretty nice. I
Yeah.
was actually just talking to someone about that at or semi-related at the local Gundam build night that me and one of my buddies host every month here.
Hmm.
Shouts out. Um, it seems like pretty much every kit representation of the Gundam Mark II is fantastic.
It's like the perfect middle ground.
It is. Like the real grade is great. The Master Grade 2.0 is fantastic. The high grade Revive looks amazing. I'm going to be using that as the base for the Tequila Gundam conversion I'm working on.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, even the perfect grade looks good, and it's certainly not recent.
Jack of all trades, nothing could go wrong if you just get a Mark II.
Truly.
I really want to pick up the real grade for a spin. Like, I might just get the Titans one, just so that I have two distinct Mark IIs.
Yeah. The Titans version is the one that I got. It's it's just a good kit.
Hmm. So if you want a beginner's kit to into any grade with a bit of pizzazz, then just go for the Mark II.
Pretty much, yeah. Can't go wrong with a Mark II.
Yeah. I cannot be the only one clamoring for a high grade Denanzon, right? Perhaps. Perhaps. Because none of the F91 designs really stuck with me. Except the F91. But if the Denanzon was part of Crossbone, then maybe. Even though I haven't read Crossbone.
Crossbone is fun. And then Steel 7 is also very crazy too.
I've heard of
I
it.
would
I've
love.
heard of how crazy it is. I got both Dictus units, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I really hope
Um,
they release more units from the Jupiter Empire, though.
oh, I know. I would even just be happy with a high grade F99.
Record Breaker?
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. And I saw somebody suggest that Bandai should release a high grade Anchor, which I 100% agree. Because I would have gotten the Robot Damashi Anchor, but then again, it's just too pricey to get it shipped here.
Mhm.
So hopefully they will finally release some Crossbone Gundam Dust designs. But you know, with Bandai and whatnot, they might just reuse the mold. from the Ghost Gundam to create the Phantom V2 before anything Crossbone Dust is released. Anything else Crossbone Dust is released.
Yeah.
I like the insectoid design of the Shakyo. Kind of wish it has a high grade since the 1 to 100 scale is P Bandai. Yeah, I really want a Shakyo. Like, that's one of the designs that stuck with me from Victory. Like, arguably, I would say that it has more of an impression on me than the Victory Gundam itself, just because of its weird design. Like, can you imagine people in the far future just using beam rotors as helicopters with mobile suits? That's Victory Gundam
Yeah.
for you.
That is a super cool design.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a P Bandai.
I
I
don't.
thought that was the normal Re 100 release.
It is P Bandai. It is P Bandai. It just for some reason has a colored box.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of like the double O P Bandai variants, like the double O Down Riser. I thought you said Delanza though. How does Delanza and Denanzon sound similar? High grade F89. I'll have to take a look at that, but I really wish they would make a high grade F90. Like, after the Master Grade project is done, do the high grade.
Yeah. Easy money for Bandai.
Yeah, easy money, easy project that can span for like, how long has the Master Grade project spanned already?
I don't even know. I don't remember when it started. I feel like that's been going for like 4 or 5 years now.
It's been ages for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta consult a piece of line art. I really want to know whether or not these stick out parts on the ankle armor are safety flags.
Wasn't there that one Victory mobile suit that also won a poll for real grade? Oh, was it I want to say it was like the Zolidia or something, but that's just the first one that comes to mind.
I could quickly
Yeah.
look that up. But yeah, I think the pieces on the ankle armor are safety flags. So yeah.
Wow.
Blah blah blah. Exception of manga. There's no info on the wiki. Unless you find the actual mobile suit that has been requested. So yeah, I can't really do that with a quick search. Almost 5 years, I believe. 2019, 2020 has just started. Oh my god.
Oh.
My thoughts on the 30-minute fantasy line. Fantasy isn't really my thing. I'm not gonna cut it on stream. No, I'm gonna abstain from that. I'm gonna have a closer look. But 30-minute fantasy, I guess it's a good avenue for people who want fantasy-looking mechs. But it really isn't my thing, to be honest. They look cool. Don't get me wrong, they look cool. So for those of you who want more night designs, then you can turn to the 30-minute fantasy line. But it's just not really for me. Those P Bandits for the double O, like the Down Riser and Avalanche Exia, were USA retail releases, which is why they got colored box art. Oh yeah, I think those were kind of similar to the Breaker Battle Log color variants. Like, they were P Bandai in Japan but retail elsewhere. Master Grade Zanek. What is that? What's the Zan? Is that something from Victory? Was it just the one we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to suspect that these protrusions are safety flags, but I'm not gonna cut them yet. The Xanac has like beam hula hoops. Is it the one with the bells? I don't know. Well, especially because I watched Victory with Chinese subtitles, so it doesn't rub off on me that well. I'm sorry. It was a Massacre Pole. Oh, Massacre Pole. Like the Massacre Turn Red Astray was just regular release by P Bandai in Japan. Yeah, that's. I have like 3 Portanovas, one of which was special with special armor, one with CQC armor, and they're pretty cool to be honest. Yeah, I get the appeal of 30-minute missions. I have the Spinatio and Spinacia, and also an Portanova, but it just didn't really stick with me that much. Yes, it's the one with the bells. Ah, yeah, that's the subtitles' fault.
Can't say I'm too surprised that that did not get made into a kit.
How so? Because of the giant platform that it sits on.
I will say though, I think I made it a grand total of maybe 5 episodes into Victory,
Yeah.
and just could not stand that it felt like every other scene that baby
Somebody's dead.
was crying,
Uh,
and it just got to a point where I was like, this is annoying and I'm not enjoying this. I'll give it another try later.
hmm.
And it's been sitting on my external hard drive ever since.
Hmm. Well, I sat through Victory, even though it didn't really rub off on me, but I don't know. I feel like it's like classic Gundam in a way. I know it's been written by Tomino, but it's like classic Gundam in a way. Isn't really too engaging, but it's still engaging enough for me to follow along.
Okay.
Like it's in that weird middle spot. Like I've been watching classic Gundam properly recently, and I'm just like, how did some of these designs go down as classics besides nostalgia? Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but a lot of the designs were complete jokes in the anime, and yet some of them.
In Victory?
What?
In Victory?
No, I mean in original Gundam.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like they're classics by association. That's it.
I mean, I guess when you look at the style that other similar shows were doing at the time, it kind of makes sense in context.
Yeah.
Like I feel like especially a lot of like the aquatic Xeon designs
Oh, yeah.
feel very Monster of the Week.
Yeah. They feel very monster of the week, but then again, they're unique all the same, and they keep coming back.
Yeah.
Will you buy Nightfall or Steel Haze? I've pre-ordered both Armored Cores, so the only thing that we can do is wait. That one was designed for stealth, and the sound of bells is the one thing that gave it away. Fuala was stupid for wearing bells because she'd gone insane. Akugai didn't even appear in the anime. I thought it appeared in Double Zeta. But then again, if we were going through another Gunpla Renaissance, they might bring those into like the modern era. Like, do you remember the Juagu, the Zogok, those designs? They got brought into the modern era in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they might do that with if they're delving into more like the Zeta mythos and the Zeta plots, they might bring the Akugai into the higher Universal Century line. But I don't know. It's just a spitball guess. I mean, they bring the the green thing. I still can't pronounce the name correctly.
That ugly thing. The what is it? The Bolinoak
Bolanok
Saman,
Saman, yeah. Bolanok Saman.
the bologna sandwich.
I still can't believe we got a modern Zizar kit. The double Zeta one is locked behind P Bandai though, unfortunately. So all we can do is wait for P Bandai reissues or stick with the sleeves.
Yeah, how funny that the first version of the Zusa wasn't even the first series that it shows up in.
Yeah, funny. Like, and funny enough, the Dovin Wolf was the same, but it got a retail release at the end. I think the
Oh
By
yeah.
Ireland is also the same,
Yep, we got the Violent Custom first, and then the
and then the standard
Zeta
one.
version came way after.
Yeah, way after. I think the Mark IIs and the Isoldes came around the same time.
And the Drysen, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Dryson as well. Yeah, the Bolognese salmon. We got Dryson Unicorn before the OG one. It's the 2010s were just a weird time. But I hope we are going back to like releases in that fashion. So like odd, weird designs from the old days get revived into like standard high grade kits.
We need some high grade Turn A designs.
Yeah, the high grade correct century line has just been
Oh,
stale. Like I know I made that April Fool's Bojarnon back in 2021, I believe. 2021 or 2022, I forgot. 2022, I believe it is. But we, even though it would be such an easy remold, they still haven't made it happen.
would they even need to remold anything, or like
I
they just need to give it a different box?
I think they might just give it a different head, like a more old school looking cute Zaku head,
Yeah.
and that'll probably be it. Like because the joints are perfectly fine for the revived Zaku.
Yeah. Yeah, the Borjarnon, we could finally get a proper high grade Kapul.
They've that's salt on the wound, man.
I know.
Like I
They
reviewed the
like
mobile
danced
Kapul, they
around it.
labeled it Kapul runners, they provided enough parts for the triple segmented arms for the original Kapul, and yet they still haven't capped on it. Like how ridiculous is that? A build kit that doesn't spawn the original variant.
And it's one of those designs that I feel like everybody who sees it is like, yeah, I love the Kapul. I would absolutely buy a kit of it.
They'll probably just make it the larger double Zeta one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Gotta complete the Xeon remnants before they tackle the correct century. Speaking of correct century, I wish they would release a modern 1 to 144th scale Turn X.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Yeah, mostly just for the shining finger. Who?
I ended up buying a Master Grade Turn X pre-built because when it came out, I was like, oh, I don't need it right now. I don't have space. I'll wait. And I just kept waiting, and now it's like
Never reissued.
$200
Oh my god,
for an unbuilt kit.
that's more than I paid for
And
this thing.
it's it's too much.
Yeah,
Um, and I love that it got a Master Grade, but something about the proportions just does not, it doesn't feel like it quite matches the Master Grade Turn A. And maybe that's just because I'm pretty sure the Master Grade Turn A is a stealth Verka.
yeah, because Katoki had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Where's my Gaza D or Gallus J or K? Should ask Bandai for that one.
Yeah.
Looks like Harridan Saga, Noir Striker Pack, Leopard, and etc. Well, to be fair, the Leopard Da Vinci is way too oversized for a proper 1 to 144 scale Gundam Leopard. it's even wrong according to its own settings. So if they were to make a high grade afterwar Gundam Leopard, and by extension the Leopard Destroy, they might just do a complete remold. So I don't blame them for that. However, if you talk about the Love Striker from the Gundam Love Phantom being just a noir striker with scythes, yeah, we need some sort of modern strike noir in with that sort of engineering. And yes, the Kingdom Gundam Saga is like one of the major ones that got shafted. Like it's such an easy color variant, and they still haven't done it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the potential reissue though. Like they're reissuing a lot of build and Universal Century designs, and the Kingdom Gundam Saga is definitely one that I'm interested in taking another look at it. And probably I'm just gonna paint my old one into the 00 colors. Kingdom has a high grade, as does the Strike Noir. Well, we're talking about the proper 00 side story Kingdom Gundam Saga, and a potential revive high grade Strike Noir, because the Stargazer engineering is really odd. Like it started from the tail end of Seed Destiny, like something like the Akatsuki and stuff. They're just trying new stuff that kind of compromise the kit. I had a Stargazer. I don't remember what it felt like to handle, but I believe like a lot of the handling is like basically just the same double ball jointed shoulders that does more harm than good than the peg shoulder joints and whatnot. It's just a weird time, like during the tail end of Seed Destiny. The Kotoki sabotaged the Master Grade department. They released 3 Master Grade version cars in a row already. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they got so many Master Grade version cars out.
I honestly forgot that we're getting the Master Grade narrative this year.
Yeah, yeah. Excuse me, but yeah, the narrative and the Shenanigans Stein. I thought they were releasing together, but apparently not. Like I know that the narrative is coming out because I was just checking the release schedules, and I had to wait until the end of April to get my Gyan. But it is going to be releasing with the Gyan on April 27th. So the narrative C packs Master Grade. It's going to be coming at the end of April. And I forgot when the Shenanigans Stein is coming out, but I believe it's a regular release as well. It's dated, sure, but it's still pretty good. Off the back of my experience with the Akatsuki, like the build Akatsuki, I wouldn't say for sure, but I want to take a closer look at it. Like a lot of the Stargazer designs, I really want to take a closer look at. I especially love how, I don't know if you've seen this, Weston, but the backpack connection for the Stargazer Gundam.
I don't think I have. How is it connected?
It's a smiley face. No, I'm not bullshitting you either. It is a smiley face. And I distinctly remember the Luna Gazer coming with an adapter for the smiley face backpack.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Someone in the modeling department had a real good time making that one.
back in the mid noughties, people are having fun. Yeah, the smiley face connections is so cute.
Yeah, forget the universal 2-peg adapter system. Let's go to the smiley face adapter system.
Yes, definitely. It's an extra peg. It'll provide more solid connections.
Yeah, exactly.
The kit is so good, even the connections are happy. Yeah, I remember the Stargazer being good, but then again, mine was the one that I have is a knockoff. So I really want to take a look at the official Bandai version at some point. Especially with Stargazer literally being the Gundam that doesn't fight. Yeah, it's a test bed for the Voiture Lumiere system for deep space travel. I don't know why or how, like writers and games and stuff recontextualized it to have a beam shield where it isn't supposed to have one. But oh well, they need gimmicks for the games, so whatever.
Yep. Yeah, I think for the most part not huge on most seed designs. Um, I feel like the Okawara illustrations kind of turn me off of the design.
Ugh, don't
Um,
mention it.
but the Stargazer is one of the few seed kits that I would actually get, or especially the Luna Gazer. I'm
The
kind of like looking back, I'm kind of bummed I didn't snag one of
the
those
Luna
when
Gazer
it.
is basically just the Hyakushiki, so yeah. Build Fighters Amazing Ready has some of these weird fusion designs. Like the Luna Gazer is a mix of the revived Hyakushiki and design elements of the Stargazer. So yeah, I at least the shield isn't too egregious of a weapon. I'm just surprised that they managed to think about that. But yeah, I really want to take a look at the Stargazer sometime soon. But knowing Surugaya, it's gonna be extremely pricey.
Yeah. Have you seen that third party Stargazer kit?
The extremely detailed 1/100th version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but it comes with like all these, or I think maybe the first batch came with all these crazy like clear effect parts that go around the Voiture Lumiere, and it had like a plated gold inner frame or something like that.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's a bit overkill. Like as if the design itself is not overkill.
No, it's really, I mean, it's it's been interesting seeing some of those kits come out. Because like that third party Stargazer looks really nice. It's super detailed, maybe a little more detailed than I personally would go for. Um, but it's a reasonable price, and the build is supposed to be very solid too.
Hmm. So probably that's gonna be like a suppressant for people who want a high grade Stargazer. Hopefully, it'll
Yeah,
have the smiley face connections as well.
I hope it does.
Yeah, it's too good of a callback not to do. And the backpack is just two pieces, and the runner is so small it went inside my runner stand.
Wow.
Ugh. Just for that one thruster. I got that one. The glory. Hey, love the reviews, concise and to the point. Thanks for the great content. Thank you for the compliment, Nate Bill. It's nice having you here. The Stargazer head looks like the one on the Gundam Mark IV. I disagree. The Gundam Mark
It
IV has a way more derpier head.
I kind of see the similarity though. The Mark IV's head is definitely way weirder,
Yeah.
but I think the comparison is fair.
Hmm. I think one of my favorite build designs is the Gym Sniper K9. There's something about it that really appeals to me. Maybe it's the Boston Dynamic Dog. Who knows? Yeah. I I really wanted a Gym Sniper K9, and thankfully I have it now. Of course, for a price, but still. And yep, here is the main body of the amazing Barbatos Lupus. The backpack is just two pieces because we don't have the booster yet, but man, does it justify the animation in this finish? Looking,
That looks really nice.
yeah. This is like one of the very rare instances I would argue that the metallic version is better than the standard one. based on what we know of course. Any nice looking high grade you'd recommend? Black Knight Squad Rudra. Black Knight Squad Rudra. I literally just finished filming this thing today. And yeah. First of all, it's color accurate, thank God. And second of all, there's not much you need to do to touch up in order to have a 100% accurate kit, because all you need is the red of the Shiva inside the vents and thrusters, and that's it. So, and since it's black, you basically don't need panel lining. And you have 3 different sensor types, which I forgot to record. But I'll take a look at those later on because it's a sticker. But the Black Knight Squad Rudra, for some reason, more solid than the Shiva. And because it has very few stickers, you can really truly appreciate the engineering they put into this thing. Like, especially the helmet. And my aim is to get this review done tomorrow. Because, well, I have 4 videos that I want to do. One is the Gelgoog, I need shots from home. One is an April Fool's video, I did that, finished that. One is this thing, I don't know if I need to record much of it because it's metallic. And the Rudra. The Rudra, I believe I can get this thing done tomorrow. So this is one of the night designs that I would absolutely recommend to you guys. But of course, it just came out, so probably you'll have to wait a month or 2 before you're able to get your hands on it. It doesn't have orange beams. It's more of a reddish orange. It's the same color as the Black Knight Squad Shiva, so yeah. Oh yeah. And as for other night designs, none are really popping up off the top of my head. But I've heard that the Argyagia is a good one to go for. And of course, if you're not limiting it to high grades, the SD Night Gundam, I literally just reviewed that on the channel, and that's a pretty good one to go for as well. Black and green is a pretty rare combo too, yeah, and especially with the metallic brown frame to break up the color scheme. Were you gonna say something?
Oh no. Sliding runners around.
Finally, on
it has a metallic brown frame?
Yeah, the Rudra has a metallic brown frame. So
interesting.
It breaks up the color scheme subtly, yet gives it a little bit more accents. I've been meaning to get a high-grade revived Gyan, especially now that we have the Gyan Strom. I really want to get the high-grade revived Gyan. Like, one of the major like one of the major regrets I have for the Gelgoog Menace is that I don't have a standard Universal Century Gelgoog to look into. And I'm very confused on how this part goes, so bear with me, chat. There we go. Sometimes I forgot I'm colorblind. Argyagia is really nice if you just do a bit of repainting on its gold and silver. It's an excellent Zeonic plus night aesthetic. Yeah, and if there are any other night designs that you guys can think of that I'm blanking on, please do suggest it in chat. Any incoming peep kits you're planning on getting? At a larger scale, I feel like the glitter injection on the Perma Score 6 full mechanics aerial is gonna look so good. Still, I'm a bit because it's just blue shell units and a different color scheme. I'm not gonna be getting the Score 6 full mechanics aerial. Plus, it does have handling issues, so I'm a bit wary on that. But apart from the G-Wish Prologue kits, the gun nodes, and I don't think there's any others that are on the way. Like there are the build P Bandai kits that are coming in May, which might be shipped in June. I don't know, Knights. It's your call. But uh, yeah, I don't believe that there's too much P Bandai stuff coming along. I do believe I have the Universal Century 088 high grade Zeta Gundam as well. That's coming at some point in the future, if not this package. Yeah, there's quite
Nice.
a lot of stuff. Speaking of P Bandai, I'm upset that I couldn't get a hold of a G line. I really wanted to review that, but at the same time I couldn't get myself to. If you don't mind the beam pitch dinky beam pitchfork, the Aegis Knight is even better. Yeah, the only thing that's bad about the Aegis Knight is the pitchfork. Any tips on making reviews? I'm currently making a rough draft video, and I was just wondering if is there anything I should do or add. Um, don't add any fluff that you don't think is necessary in there. Just so that you're getting the more important information out. That's basically it. But of course, I will have to see some of your content before I have a more comprehensive list of advice that I can give. So the basic gist of getting a review out is don't fluff.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Or if you want to be a comprehensive reviewer, make sure that every bit of information is just as important and cannot go without. Like I've seen like a new reviewer, Syndication Builds. Their reviews are like half an hour long, but every bit of it is about the build, what they've done to the kids, the process, and basically anything that is important to somebody who will want to try really detailing up their kits and a more intricate look into the build itself instead of just blanket statements. But anyway, here is the amazing mace. Can't wait to see how this thing holds up when everything docks into everything. I'm gonna skip on the sword mace for now because it's not part of its arsenal and move on to the party piece. Finally. Any interest on the Zaku Solari and the EX Gundam? No. Oh yeah, and that's something we haven't talked about, Weston.
Yeah, I forgot I wanted to ask you about that. What's your take on the Requiem for Vengeance designs?
The only thing that I have to say about them is that the Gundam EX looks like the EZ8 that's been stuck into a microwave and melted. And
I agree.
yeah, and the Zaku Solaris, it's cool, like having some construction-esque equipment as part of its arsenal. But then again, it's just as overly detailed as something like the Gundam RX-78 FOO.
Hmm.
So visually, it's not that attractive, but I believe the Zaku Solaris will look very good if you just apply a bit of damage to it. Like that thing is screaming, "Damage me!" Like scratches, gunk, grit,
Yeah,
just that
heavy
kind of
weather
stuff.
build.
Weathering battle damage. That thing will look very good with that. But the
Yep.
Gundam EX, I couldn't justify its existence. Like it looks like it just doesn't want to exist. It looks just as sad as the high grade beginning Gundam.
Hey, the high grade beginning Gundam is cute.
No, the high grade beginning Gundam has a very sad face.
It does, yeah.
The beginning J and beginning D look slightly better, but it's not a high bar.
No. Yeah, I think I'm on the same page as you. I think the Zaku definitely screams like give me a gunk wash, weather me, do some battle damage. Apparently the EX Gundam was designed by the same guy who did the EZ8, so the comparison is definitely valid.
Yeah,
But like the face, something about the face design, the head design just looks off to me.
yeah,
I think the design as a whole has some cool stuff going on, but it kind of feels like they typed in super panely Gundam into an image generator AI and then designed it based on what was spat out because it's too much detail.
yeah.
That being said, the back-mounted Gatling gun and 3 beam saber rack is very cool.
Yeah. I would agree that that's one of the more unique parts of it, like 3 beam sabers and
Yeah.
back-mounted weapons. For something like me, that's most likely an alternate take of the 1 Year War. Sure, why not?
And the way that they tease it in the trailer is actually pretty cool. That they don't ever just show it. It's meant to be like this, terrifying enemy that just shows up and then you lose.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's probably depicted as such because it's from the perspective of a Xeon soldier. Like, plot twist, it's actually the EZ8. Gundam EX looks like it's wearing a pilot helmet and the face design is just off. It would have fitted better if it had a visor and maybe filling out the mouth vents to complete the helmet look. I would have loved if they actually canonized something that looks similar to the Red Giants. Like if it has a battle mask or an analytical visor that just drops down, that would sell it to me instantly.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah. That's like the whole reason I got the Red Giant set to begin with. But anyways,
I am kind of the opinion, and this may be a hot take. I think we need to be done with early UC for a little bit.
yeah, I agree.
Like, tell us more stories in like the Zeta double Zeta era.
That's what
Tell us
Werewolf is
what
for.
happened between Hathaway's Flash and F91.
Yeah, Hathaway's Flash F91. F91 just feels like a prelude to Crossbone, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely agree that we should be done with the 1 Year War by now. Anime Gaia Gear. Impossible. I think they disown Gaia Gear more than they have G Savior, so fat chance that's gonna happen.
Do any of the Gaia Gear designs make cameos in Build Fighters?
No, but even the G
Okay.
Savior has an appearance.
I was so excited to see that pop up.
Yeah. And actually, if you guys have seen my Redux review on it, I actually made kind of like a sly reference to that in the Verdict spins. Like having the Delta Gundam fight against the G Savior because I don't have a Yakushiki. The worst part about sticking with the 1 Year War, the 1 Year War main timeline is that they keep adding suits and tech that's too advanced for the time frame. Yeah, Blue Destiny is a very good example of it. But then again, you can kind of force in Blue Destiny with the main timeline.
Yeah. Like, if they want to do more 1 Year War stuff, let's get more Thunderbolt animated.
Yeah. Especially because I recently listened to like a segment of a podcast, a Gundam podcast. They talk about that big Zam. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Thunderbolt gets crazy.
Yeah. And they talked about like the Gundam Mark II, how it's literally just like live with pre-production lineup levels of Mark II
Mhm.
instead of just the 3 test units.
Yeah.
Is this a safety flag? I wonder. If if this is a safety flag, I'm cutting it off after the stream. I can't stand safety flags. The thing with Thunderbolt is EO is a very polarizing protagonist. I personally couldn't stand him at all. He's like a ladies' man, like one of those snazzy ladies' man characters. Ow.
I think he's meant to be polarizing too, because like I don't know, it's an interesting change of pace to at least in the first part of Thunderbolt
Yeah.
to see the I would say EO acts more villainous than Daryl does, but EO is the one in the Gundam.
Yeah. Well, war is ambiguous.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I mean, um, and as the story goes on, I think they both kind of it starts to even out. Um, but at least like the first part of Thunderbolt, I found myself rooting for Daryl and the Living Dead division more than I did EO and the Moore Brotherhood.
Hmm. Given that
But yeah,
is
and then EO ends up in the Zeong anyway.
really.
Yes. Sorry, mild spoilers.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Manga's harder to come by anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, EO has the Zeong and Daryl has the Perfect Gundam.
That's a bit of a swap.
Yeah.
It's like how Setsuna has his own flag, and in the end, Graham gets in his XR4.
I wanted a kit of Setsuna's flag so badly when the movie came out.
Was it because of the cancellations that made it hurt so badly?
Cancellations?
Because I believe like obviously the Jinx 3, the yellow Jinx 3 from the movie, and
Hmm.
I believe the Celestial Being flag are 2 units that were announced as kits but got cancelled. Don't know if the Seravi 2 suffered the same fate, but might as well have, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yes, probably that. That's probably the reason why it's so like triggering to talk about those, because they were so close to being released as kits. I
Yeah.
don't know if
I
Bandai just
mean,
wants that perfect 70, but then again, we have the Braves to ruin that. So it's probably not the numbering issue. It's just that Bandai doesn't feel like going through with making a high grade of the Celestial Being flag.
yeah. Oh yeah, they did have a prototype of it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel stuff like that and like the Master Grade Age 3, Age
H3
FX.
HFX, yeah.
We'll get those after we get the G Self Verka.
Yeah, over their dead bodies, eh?
Yeah, never.
Yeah. Honestly, the G
As much
Savior
as it,
novel isn't bad. I've read it and actually kind of liked it. I've heard that the game is also pretty good. It's just that the movie that sucked.
yeah. I've also heard the game was really cool.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that in my comments. Alright, just finished building Gundam ground type. Hey, Lord Theo. Good work.
Nice.
At this point, we're more likely to get a Tristan Verkal for the G Self. Don't
Oh,
you dare
no.
call it potato.
Don't say that.
But if I'm honest, if they took the high grade approach to for the Tristan in the Master Grade form, nobody would complain, because the Master Grade Alex 2.0 was widely acclaimed.
Oh, I thought you meant like approaching the Master Grade like they did the high grade Tristan, which is like
Which is, yeah, the same thing. They based it on the Alex. That's my point.
Oh yeah, they did. That's right. That's why it was so bad because it was based on an old kit.
It's based on an old kit that didn't need to be that it just didn't have the reason to. Like they didn't necessarily have to take the build approach to that.
Yeah.
I think Bandai was just so ingrained with the whole build revitalizing older molds approach with their kits back then that they decided that we can just go with the go with the old Alex to make the Tristan, and look at what they did.
It was a bold choice, to put it nicely.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. And MJ, but they used the Master Grade Alex 1.0. Did they? I don't think a Master Grade Tristan ever existed, and if it will exist, they might just use the Alex 2.0 because that's the more recent mold.
Would
These
make
wings
sense.
are absolutely massive. And I forgot to put in the part. God damn it. I was so ingrained of getting the arms to work, I forgot to put in the top fin. Like, I was like there's something missing here, isn't it? It's like, oh my god. Luckily for me, I don't need to do much harm to the kit to take it apart. We need,
I need to get one of those part separators.
yeah, it's like £2 on Amazon. No, not Amazon, like Hobbit in Japan, and I think they still have stock. So, might be worth thinking about if you want to bulk up your order. You watch, we're gonna get an MG Tristan and it's gonna use the old Addicts mold. That's what I said about the dual Blitz and Lightning Buster, and guess what? I've been proven wrong. And yeah, on the subject of that, I think the dual Blitz, besides what it served in the movie, which I'm not gonna spoil, it's a cool idea to bring back some old designs just for fan service. Because as far as I know, like Fukuda actually said that this is like the final hurrah for the main cast of Seed. So bringing back these old designs makes sense in that aspect. And the Dual Blitz is kind of a sweet way to pay tribute to Nicole from Seed. I wonder where the Lightning Buster got the lightning part from, because it's definitely not from the Lightning Striker, unless it is. Spoiler alerts, they didn't touch on that in the movie. They just say, why were they keeping these old machines around? That's it. In terms of settings. And they've been upgraded to nuclear power. That I'm not afraid to spoil. Not that that's relevant in the movie anyway. Bro, did you get the... Zero King. This is the metallic version of the Amazing Barbatos Lupus. Yes, indeed. Don't ask. I'm still crying over it. I've heard Bandai just pumped out the Twilight Axis kits to see popularity, to see popularity of the Jagan mainly.
Oh yeah, that Jagan variant was pretty cool.
I need to take a look at that, but all I know is like there's this Zaku 3 custom and the Biolancy Solde, and then the 2 mobile armors at the end of the miniseries. So I don't know that much about Twilight Axis, even though I've watched it. It's just not that impressive to me. Aegis, meanwhile, never seen the light of day anymore. Come on, Double Scoop. The high grade and the master grade Aegis are both very good, especially the high grade, with its engineering being way ahead of its time. Even if the Aegis never gets a revive, I'm still satisfied with what they've done with the high grade. And keep in mind, the remaster may have came out in 2012, but the original mold came out in 2002. The remaster only just provided a stand adapter, extra decals, and a complete recolor. That's it. So the engineering is still based on 2002 engineering, which is mind-boggling to say the least. MJ, are you a mono eye fan or a two eyes visor fan? I am definitely a twin eye fan. But in the recent years, I've started to see the appeal of mono eyes. Though I'm still all for twin eyes. These wings are massive. So, where are you on the Illithrid Thorn?
I am working on the phase cannon. I
The
don't
phased
remember what
array
it's
cannon?
called. Yes,
Yeah.
but I've got the main body done. The proportions are so goofy,
They
but
serve a practical
it's
purpose.
growing on.
Yeah, it's really weird. They serve a practical purpose. It looks unique, but still can't really take it seriously, especially knowing what we
Yeah,
know now.
I think what this is. This, and then I have a Zolwart Heavy and a Gunvolva, and I think all three of those are gonna get kit bashed together in some way.
Hmm, that's interesting. I see your soul is still weighed down by gravity. Yeah, I deserve to be crushed by axes. Come on. While we've been chatting, I've been building the Valkylander and the Rex gear. Ah, nice. Mono eyes need more detailing to look good in kits, in my opinion. Some of the newer Origin Zaku's, like the High Mo Zaku's from Kukuru's Island, have been better detailing in the mono eye part that makes it look better. Well, it's just that mono eyes are not really my thing. But to be honest, because they're so weird, they have the freedom to do whatever they wanted. Like if you look back on the aquatic Xeon designs and such,
Mhm.
and especially the Zeta designs, the like how the Titans were just pumping out suit after suit after suit. Like, tell me in back when they first came out, or tell me as a newbie that those things belong in Gundam. Like people, like I still remember the days when people are saying like, Barbatos isn't a Gundam, G Self isn't a Gundam. And it's like, huh? Have you seen some of the 80s designs? How weird they can get. Titan's mobile suits are top tier. I love the Gaplan and Masala. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Have you seen the Quadrant 3 reprint list? There are some good kits coming back. Yes, I have a lot of them on my watch list. Yeah, so apparently the build battle log kits are reissuing. That's why I said I'm probably gonna be getting another Character Gundam Saga. And there's some good stuff like the Blue Destinies. Like finally, people have been requesting and requesting and requesting me to review the Blue Destiny units. I have the Unit 1, it's on the slate, and the Unit 2 is probably going to be in a double feature with the Unit 3, which is going to be reissued in July, I believe, so it's probably going to hit stores in August or September. So finally, you guys will get to see the Blue Destiny on my Blue Destiny units on my channel. And there's like the S Gundam and the XS Gundam. I'm definitely interested in looking into those because I really want to take a look at Gundam Sentinel designs, especially because they're the results of like a copyright war or something like that between the writer and Bandai. So that's why I'm interested in taking a look at how those things ended up. And there's quite a few more designs, but unfortunately none of those that really matter because I really wanted an X-Maul and a Camp for Amazing. Those aren't on the list.
I am pretty surprised that we got a master grade Gundam Mark V. Just considering that I think what it is that Model Graphics owns Gundam Sentinel, or
Yeah.
they own like publishing rights or something.
Yeah, yeah. There's a rights issue for Gundam Sentinel.
Yeah. But like I'm almost finished with my Master Grade Mark V that arrived earlier this month, and man, what a fantastic kit for not having built a Master Grade in I think a couple of years now.
Hmm.
It's super pleasant, very straightforward, perfect amount of detail. Um, the only stickers required are for the eyes and other cameras.
That's pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's huge too.
Yeah, because
I
it's
think,
basically a Dovin Wolf, but with a Gundam head.
yeah, I mean, once I get the head on it, I think it's going to be taller than, or as tall as the Master Grade Full Armor Unicorn.
Oh, like to the top of the cannons.
Yeah.
Wow, it's gonna be a spectacle, eh? Yeah, yeah, nice. There's a copyright back and forth between the writer of Sentinel and Bandai before we got anything that we got today. I forgot the specifics of it, but I've heard of the stories behind it. Does this kid use the same interframe for IBO Barbatos? Oh, come on, baffling. Uh, all the high grade IBO based Gundam frames use the Gundam frame, and a majority of them use the Gundam frame Type 4, which this does use. So it's quite solid for now, except for the head. But I can't wait to dock this thing with the main unit and see how well that statement will age. Because I believe it will age like milk.
Curious to see how long the waist and shoulders on that thing lasts.
Let's see if they last a review session. If it does last one review session, then it's probably gonna be grand. Yeah, Gaki. Yeah, Gaki. Yeah, it's literally just the Barbatos Lupus with extra parts. Yeah, thanks for doing the explaining for me. Mark V is amazing both as a kit and as a mobile suit. It's a very angry boy and it wants to kill things. Yep.
Yep.
And it has like the Titan's evil face, as people like to call it. Don't know why they call it the evil face though.
Yeah. Similar looking face to the Gaplant.
The Gapland and the TR6 Heisenplay had that face at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, the head. Finally, the head. You know, for Baby Bird, this is still pretty big. And I remember like people trying to bash the Hashmal and the Barbatos Lupus together back in the day, be it in kit form or in art form. Titans did nothing wrong. The Titans were absolute maniacs. Even if not in a war sense, like with how much stuff they managed to pump out in a span of just a few years.
Yeah.
They're absolute maniacs. Yeah, given a week in a frame more backpack and stuff, I shall prove that wrong because, well, the like I said, the Kimura's Vidar and the Bale that I have, they're holding up fine. Granted, I haven't gotten into their reviews yet, because I still need to make their sigils, but frankly, with as much stuff as the Kimura's Vidar has, I'm surprised it's still holding up. So perhaps it might not turn out so bad for the Amazing Barbatos Lupus, but granted, this is the metallic one, so it might just be because of the coating. I don't really get why people complain about loose joints. It's a very simple fix. Even the spine part you can fix by thickening up the peg, connecting them at the top. Yeah, there is pointing it out, and then there's complaining.
Yeah.
I usually just point them out. Well, unlike the recent Sea Freedom stuff, which just gets loose from a review. Like that's the baseline that I put kits solid like rigidity at. Like if they can survive a review, then they can survive like just basic posing, because I couldn't imagine anybody needing to pose a kit as much as I do in a review. So if they can survive that, then it'll be fine.
Yeah, once you're finished with a review and you pose it and put it on a shelf, how often after that are you taking it off the shelf and reposing it?
Almost never. So imagine what it would be like for the typical builder.
Yeah.
I wonder where the other stickers go. I might need to revisit the instruction manuals in a bit. I'm so glad this is a booklet as well.
Once you built once you built the last Hajiroboshi variant, are you gonna do a blindfolded high grade Barbatos build?
If I can afford to
Now
lose some,
mastered.
if I can afford to lose some parts and have somebody take the damage off, then sure. But I've built a Gundam frame without instructions before, as I did build the rear half of the Barbatos without the instructions, except for the armor parts, because well, yeah, armor parts they're new and all, but the
Yeah.
frame itself I can just build it without the instructions. Because even though the halves are different, it doesn't really matter which way they go anyway. So yeah. And here's the tedious part: building the 6 damn claws. I'm glad they're in a flat-ish white though, so I don't need to worry about messing them up too much. All kidding aside, the Titans are hilariously evil that you can't take them seriously at all, even in universe. It was a huge missed opportunity to make a ton of diverse Federation style suits though. Yeah. I think I watched Zeta with Chinese subtitles, so it didn't really rub off on me that much, but I distinctly remember that the Titans are just evil. Well, I usually change the pose from time to time, but that's just me. Also, for build midverse, I got both entry grades and the Shin Burning. Good choices. Except for the law Gundam. It would be better if you got the prototype though. Bro, the Amazing Lupus is just a beautiful design. I love it so much. Fair enough. I love it even more because it's in metallic, reflecting in the animation style. It still bugs me
That
though.
new head crest is really cool too.
What?
That new head crest that it has is super cool.
Yeah, the new crown.
Yeah.
Right. It still doesn't beat the Lucifer's wing, like the Kotobuki gigantic exo armor, because that has to build 14 blades.
Oh god.
So luckily there's just 6 here. And I believe they all have safety flags, so yeah, I'll need to clean them up later on. I have to take a closer look at them and cut them carefully. Don't want to mess them up.
Someone in my local gunpla group was building the narrative Neo Zeong and shared a picture of the manual
Yeah?
where you have to build 30 of the fingers for all the hands.
Yeah, it has 6 hands, 30 fingers. Good luck with that.
Like, okay, I'm never getting the Neo Zeong.
I'm
'Cause
never
I don't
getting
want
Neo Zeong anyway because it's just so big.
it. So they actually for this month's build night, they snuck it in. And when it was time to take pictures of all of the builds that we were working on, he set it up on the table.
Yeah.
I knew it was a big kit. I didn't realize it was like 4 feet tall.
It's like the
It
tallest high grid ever.
it's massive.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Like I've seen a proper Neo Xeon before. It's just in a like a store cabinet, so it didn't really click with me how large that actually is because proportions and scale matter. Because if you're putting it like in a storefront cabinet, then it would just look just like a standard display product, like a 1/10th Gundam. But if you have it
Mm.
actually in your own household, you just realize how much shit you got yourself into because it's just so massive. Do you think we'll ever get a high-grade Zagok? With all the memes, yes. Even the Japanese has to clarify that the high-grade Universal Century Shar's Zagok does not contain an Infinite Justice Type 2. Even they are taking the piss out of it. And guess what? When the movie first came out in Japan, all like the stores that I've seen online, they sold out of Char's Zagok.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the Sea Freedom movie. That's just how much of a meme it has become. I'm surprised that Dom never really got that kind of reception, even though it has like a canopy gimmick in Build Fighters where the build burning was stuffed inside it.
I remember seeing a couple of Japanese builders try and recreate that, but yeah, like that's I guess that didn't I mean it certainly didn't get the same attention that the Infinite Zagok did.
Yeah. Titans might have been too evil to take seriously, but Haman Ka Neo Zeon is just straight up feel like a Super Sentai villain. The fact that they look like 80s rock band doesn't help either. And yet people still simp for Haman. I think it's probably because of the Office Worker spinoff, though. Office Worker Haman with her Cubile plushies.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the original 3 series lean too much on comically evil villains. That's the 80s for you.
Yep. Product of the time.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's really even in a bad way because we like yeah, definitely like some of the characters are like comically evil like Giran just being a straight up psycho.
Yeah.
But you got to take the Girans in order to get the Ramba Rawls.
Hmm. It's just the juxtaposition between the two. One is just
Yeah.
stupidly evil, and one is actually human.
I think it's so funny that he's kind of become like the mascot character of the Build series.
Yeah. Well, the Build Fighters universe is basically Valhalla for the Gundam characters. Like you can see very evidently in episode 23.
Mhm.
Like Uso Evan building his own high grade Universal Century Victory 2. And Domo like Chibi Domon working on a God Gundam with the help of Kyoji.
Even just the fact that Patrick Collisaur was in,
Build
he made
divers.
cameos in like every episode, like
Yeah.
perfect.
That the hunt was way more interesting than proper build divers, let's be honest.
Yeah, it really was.
Bernie being alive with Christina, yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh yeah, Hathaway and Quest in Build Fighters.
Yeah, a lot of cute moments.
Like
in Redemption.
that's when cameos for cameo's sake is good.
Yeah.
Like, because yeah, Build Fighters was just made with so much love. I really wish we can go back to that. Hmm. Just remember the videos of the Goof Troop. Do you mean the ones that came after Rambaral, where the Goofs just get annihilated? Cicely, her brother, building Gunpla with Iron Mask without the mask. Yeah, that's so wholesome. Patrick was in Build Fighters manga with this. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Accelerator Jinx. That the pilot was literally called Patrick Mannequin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's such a it's such an obvious reference. And yeah, the pilots of the Gundam Virtue versus the Sengoku Astray, that was a reference to the Celestial Being movie in the Gundam 00 movie. That's such a meta reference, and the ones who get it will have a shit-eating grin, let me tell you that. It's just so many references packed into not 00, Build Fighters. And here is the amazing booster Tenshiki. Basically a baby bird. And for some reason it's adorable and I love it. Even though it's just a bare frame with a bunch of armor parts strapped on.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And basically to dock it, just need to reposition the head and neck. Rotate this back, rotate everything back. And by the way, the backpack, the boosters pegs here are off the standard Gundam frame standard. So not only could you use it on any IBO Gundam frame, if you have the Gundam Barbatos, you can use the adapters and plug this thing into any Universal Standard Gundam ever. So yeah, here we have the completed Amazing Barbatos Lupus. And even though it has a very bare bones mod, I really like how this thing turned out. My god. Here it is with the amazing mace. And this thing can be just stored on the backpack. Very neat. You can keep everything in one place. And of course you have all of the different forms, which I'm gonna flip the page to now. So I'm just gonna demo the forms while chatting a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna cut the stream off. It's 1 a.m. now. Jeez. Time flies. Not gonna lie, I would love to see the entire Zabi family in Build Divers running like a family dino or a temple like they did in the manga. Very fun. Yeah, I couldn't tell if the shoulders are a safety flag or intentionally dull. Yeah, the shoulders are dull, but the ankle armor, the claws, I would need to take a closer look at, like the wings. Those I would need to take a closer look at in order to see whether or not those are safety flags. I'm gonna do the beast form later on because I really want to show you guys this, like the massive combo weapon. So take that off. Take the claws off. You don't need these. Dozel with grown-up Minerva would have been nice. Man literally gave his life for his family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he died in a big exam.
I really liked Dozel in Origin. I think it gave a lot of great characterization to him.
I still have yet to see Origin.
Oh, it's good.
I've seen the mobile worker fights, obviously, just for research purposes. But if Origin is good, I'm actually gonna check it out in a later date.
I mean, it's very focused on
Xeon.
Xeon and how Casval becomes Char.
Yeah.
But you still get to see some of like early Federation stuff too, and I think it's just very well written and interesting, and it gives some it gives interesting context to the 1 Year War.
Hmm.
It's a valuable addition.
It's probably a good next step after I finish the proper Gundam series.
Yeah.
And here it is, the gigantic combo weapon known as the Amazing Iron Blood. I will watch Origin Forklift after I've seen the after I finish the proper Gundam series, the proper first Gundam series. And the weapon itself isn't doing too well, so I'm gonna prop it up.
It looks heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. Like the stand was included just for this thing.
Wow. It kind of reminds me of like an SD kit weapon combiner
Oh, this is much
sort of.
better than SDEX. Like the pointless gimmick that they implement into every single kit of those. And apparently, according to the manual, this entire weapon can be electromagnetically charged and launched. So this entire thing is a dying slave. So imagine this hunk of metal just crushing you at sonic speeds, let's be honest. Which is just ridiculous to think about.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. If Meijin actually used it when he got up close to the Build Striker C Galaxy. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I might as well just do comparisons on stream. But if he actually used the Dying Slave function of the Amazing Iron Blood, he would have won. I still can't stand the character assassination of Meijin in Build Metaverse. I'm still very salty over that. IBO Tactical Arms for real. Can he even hold that thing? No. That's why the stand is included in the first place, and there are hard points on the bottom and on the sides in order to support it. Which I'm glad it does have. The wings are a bit floppy though, but although it's just probably me being unfamiliar with how it works. So I'll need more time to experience it. If Shino had that thing, he would have won the final battle. No, Shino didn't. Shino missed his shot because of the recognized Julia. It has nothing to do with his skill. But of course, SDG Generation Cross Rays just depict him as a completely crappy shooter, which is recontextualizing the events of IBO in a very bad light. I don't like that. And the V even popped off. Oh well.
All right. There's the Lefrith Thorn dot.
Nice. Do you have the ore?
I don't.
Ah, sad. But to be honest, yeah, I would avoid that if I could because of how badly how bad its handling over time is. It's just like these Sea Freedom kits.
Oh wow. Okay.
It loosens up very easily. That's my point. So, yeah, it looks good. The gimmicks are fine, but it just loosens up way too easily over time. And I better dock this thing back onto the body. Which isn't gonna be the easiest task in the world.
Urchin does completely solidify Char as a villain, though. Oh yeah, he's like it gives him some great backstory. He's he's very sneaky.
Yeah. And here is the beast form. Basically, Lupus Rex in one machine. Because this is a tail blade. I just don't have the wire for it. Don't have the wire for it on the table. I kept it in the box. So yeah, here is the Amazing Barbatos Lupus in beast mode. Yeah, it's basically the Zagok, which kind of pains me because we still don't have the monkey crab Rhodey from Iron Blooded Orphans Urusu Hunt was more of a reference to the Zagok than this thing. Its ultimate move is literally a reference to the Zagok punching the gym from first Gundam.
Zagok confirmed for most powerful IBO Gundam.
If they ever give a damn about the Rhodey frame, then yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the difference between these two.
Wow.
And I have the Star Burning Gundam with me. Yeah, I was digging for kits, don't mind me. Just finished my Rex armor, the paint has the redry again. Ah, shame. The Chad Ironel versus the Virgin Luna alloy armor. Yeah. The height difference is larger than I thought. No wonder Say needed some backup, yeah.
Yeah, with the baby Hashmal on its back, it's still got some good bulk too.
Yeah. Although, yes, I do need to familiarize myself with the mechanics because it's just so floppy for now. I hope that's not a proper problem with the kit. And, although it's not the right one, here's the Tri-Age Magnum. I still don't have access to my Age collection at the moment because they're all in one big box from like the Razor Artemis twin set. And it's in one of the moving boxes, I don't know which, but it's definitely one of them that I don't have access to. So yeah, my Tri-Age Gundam is in that box, but my Tri-Age Magnum, thankfully. And yeah, I'm glad that I had the Tri-Age Magnum here because it's personal colors versus personal colors instead of red versus red. Ah yes, the Tri-Age Magnum, the Kamen Rider decade of Gundam. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to be putting any of these on because screw that. And do you need to be anywhere, Weston? Because if you don't, I might as well just finish the leftover parts.
No, go for it. I can hang out and keep chatting.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna clean out the leftover parts and pack them into one bag before I end the stream.
Do you think they'll ever make more Re 100? That would be
No.
nice. Kind of seems like that line has come and gone, though, unfortunately.
That line is kind of like a stepping stone. Oh yeah, the stickers. That line is kind of like a stepping stone for what is it? For the for the proper full mechanics line. So I think the growing pains are done for now with the Re 100 line. Oh, the stickers I missed out are for the thrusters and the booster tanks. I see. Ironically, want to see this guy get a magenta paint job. Oh come on! Don't let Shino touch this thing, please. Finished my high-grade goof custom flight type main body. Good job, forklift.
Nice.
Everybody's building tonight. Yep, that's all the stickers supplied. And I'm gonna put this off to the side just because it's just so large. Actually, no. I'm gonna have the mascot out because I don't know why, but the baby Hashmal is adorable. The frame the frame is definitely not, is definitely suffering for it though. Hmm. Ah, I see. So there is a lock. Thank God for that.
Oh, for the
For the
baby Hashmal?
for the extended wings.
Oh, nice.
So I just didn't pull them out enough. I see. And this goes on the back, and it's just gonna chilling. It's just gonna chill. You know what? Behind the members list, because why not? Just gonna chill out here, little baby bird. Right. On to the leftovers. Just curious, but question for Weston. Sorry if I spelled it wrong, but what software do you use for 3D modeling? Is it something? It's something I'm looking into, but I don't know if just Blender alone is precise enough.
Um, so I have seen a lot of people use Blender and they don't seem to have any troubles. Blender does have a pretty steep learning curve if you're looking to pick it up. I use Fusion 360, which is Autodesk software. I do pay for a license, but there is a free version. It restricts you on, I think, how many active designs you can have at once. But all of the core functionality is the same. And what I like about Fusion over Blender is that it is parametric. So you can punch in specific measurement values for everything and then link those values to other parts of the 3D model that you create later on in the process. And if you decide you need to make adjustments, you can kind of step back in time and adjust certain things, and the whole model, if you've built it right, will just update cleanly. So I've been using that software for probably 10 years now. It used to be really bad. It's gotten a lot better, and it's it can do pretty much anything that I need it to, and pretty much anything um, that you might need to do in Blender as well. But it just gives you a little more control over more of the model.
Sorry if I'm not looking at chat. I have to pull up the original instruction manual for the Barbatos Lupus.
All good. Yeah, happy to help, Gaki. Um, yeah, if they have stuff for other AutoCAD products, then you might be able um, to grab something for Fusion. Modeling, I use Maya. Yeah, Maya is much more animation based, which I think Blender will do pretty much anything, provided you take the time and learn how to use the tools. Um, but Blender and Maya are both similar softwares in how you actually model things. It can be much more loose. So, MJ, what is your favorite mobile suit?
My favorite mobile suit, eh?
I gotta think on mine for a
I've
second.
been struggling to reconcile with this, but I have to give the crown to the Extreme Gundam Type Leos 2 versus. Because we've seen so much of the Barbatos now, it used to be my favorite, but it's kind of worn stale on me.
Mhm.
I would say the next streams, but the Vicious is a little too complicated for my taste. It's still a close second. Don't get me wrong, but the Extreme Gundam Type Leos 2 versus just has that nostalgic value for me.
Favorite mobile suit? I don't know. I think before Witch from Mercury aired, it was a tie between maybe the Turn X and the G Self. But I think the Daryl Bald might be gunning for that first spot now too.
The upgraded version?
Um, yeah,
Yeah, thought so.
yeah,
That just has the more impressive fights, to be honest.
it does. I mean, in general, I think Ipe Gyobu just does not miss with his designs. But the Daryl Bald is especially excellent.
Hmm. Definitely. I think I still fondly remember that I said it looks like the Guare from Knights and Magic. So it might as well be up to me to realize that mod. The Elf Bullock has a weird design, but man, I love beams. I love the beams stilts. Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've seen the recent review of the mass production type, you'll know what I mean. You know what that means. The ridiculous feet beam sabers. Darabot, the best mobile suit for the best girl of the series. Are you serious?
Actually, though.
Yeah, I know it's a piss take, but yeah. To be honest, I like the mass production Elf Bollock more than the mask one. I don't know why.
The yellow looks really nice.
Yeah. I'm probably more so for the functionality because it doesn't have a commander's fin to transform.
Yeah.
And especially now that I've reviewed the Mac knife, I don't understand why it's like one of the most sought after non Gundams from G-Reco. Like that's the only one that I couldn't manage to find in Hong Kong.
I've seen a lot of builders use its legs,
You mean the Mac knife legs?
the Mac knife legs, yeah, just because they have such a unique shape to them.
Yeah, and it's just small heel spurs as well.
I still need to get myself one of those.
Yeah. If Bandai ever gave a damn about Build Diver Rise again, I really wish they would release, first of all, the Axel Rise armor, obviously, and probably the Mac Knife gradation, because that's like one of the three first designs of the short manga.
If I can ever get my hands on a Mac knife, I would make a 3D printable upgrade set for the gradation.
Mm, that's gonna be interesting to see. I think the Mac Knife is still available on Surugaya. It's a hefty price, but it's still one of the only ways we can get it now, unless they decide to reprint the entire line in Quadrant 4.
That would be nice. I'm
Yeah.
not counting on that though.
No, me neither.
I just took a photo a couple weeks ago of my backlog, and every time I think about going to Surugaya or looking at what's new on P Bandai, I just think about that picture and I'm like, I don't need any new kits right now.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Streamlabs is not active. So, yeah. Here are all the leftover parts. I built the hands, so they're off to the side, but with all of these you can actually build the original Barbatos Lupus in the amazing color scheme, which I don't know why you would do, especially with the very niche use of these Tekadon logos, but hey, when you get the standard version, you might just want to do this. So, who am I to judge? I think that Guel would benefit from going on estrogen. Would have been a positive character development that doesn't involve experiencing war trauma. That's part of Guel's character. Like, him experiencing the war trauma is really integral to, like, his character development. Like, that's what made him engaging, even though it doesn't help any part of the Dawn of Fall. I still feel like they're pointless characters that don't need to exist, but still.
Mhm.
The fact that Guel develops because he has been defeated multiple times, lost his father, and been amidst an actual war. That's like why his character was so compelling. So no, I
I
don't.
think he,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna add, I think he has the best character arc
Yeah,
in Witcher Mercury.
definitely. So here you have it. The amazing Barbatos Lupus with the baby bird and all of its leftover parts. So the build is completely done. So final call for chat. We might just hang around for a little bit longer. I still have a little bit of Coke to drink. Couldn't believe that's just sat there for a few hours. Yeah, all the fizz is gone now, so yeah, whatever. But yeah, I guess we can chat for a little bit longer before I end the stream. My Lupus sword snapped at the handle because I don't know. Yeah, mine did twice. Temporal Mechanic, glad well turned out the way he did. He's like my favorite character of the series. I second that, Derek.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. She can experience the harrowing war trauma, and now, uh,
As a treat.
yeah, you can really tell the Dawn of Fall Choo Choo, Elan Prime got their story completely cut off because they ran out of time. I think they just ran
Yeah.
out of episodes. To be honest, they could have benefited from a few more episodes just to develop those plot points further. Like if they want to make clones of somebody, they didn't necessarily have to have a prime basis. Like it's not seed, they can deviate from that. They don't have to have a gene progenitor or a prosthetic progenitor in order to have the clone plotline work. So Elon Prime doesn't have to exist at all. There's just a lot of missed potential in G Witch, which I will admit is being developed very well in Vanitas Heart. And in all honesty, that is probably the series that we should have gotten instead of this soap opera. I still can't
But
unsee the Amazing Maze looking like a corn cob. Yeah, you were gonna say Weston?
Gundam is inherently kind of soap opera-y, though, for better or worse.
For better or for worse, but still the characters are intriguing. They have their own motivations. Like Amuro, he was basically dragged into this, and then he just wanted the war to end. Well,
Yeah.
as far as I've gotten to, anyways. So I still haven't finished the series proper. All I've seen is the movies, like years ago at this point. But yeah, Amuro is an engaging character. Camille has character flaws, and seeing him grow out of it is like one of the more engaging things to see. And just proper character development, character motivation. Like that's the one thing I cannot stand about Soleta. She doesn't have any character development until the very end, where she
Yeah.
actually got caught in a crossfire as herself without the aerial. She got abandoned, quote unquote abandoned by her sister and her mother. She got caught in a crossfire of another school shooting, and she basically divulges her past to the Earth House. That was too little too late. I don't deny that she has some character development from then. Still, it's too little too late. She was just basically a bumbling buffoon that gets dragged wherever she needs to be and basically relegated to a minor character throughout the majority of the series.
Yeah. Her character arc was pretty flat until things started really going badly,
Yeah,
and Prospera took aerial rebuild.
yeah. Still too little too late. And
Yeah. If they had like 5 more episodes, I think they could have done a lot more with it.
I think if there was like a
Also,
better driving force, then it would have been better. Like
yeah.
if Suletta started to doubt started to doubt her mother, or started to think about why Gundams were this stigmatized and what a
Mhm.
Gundam is, that would have been like the quest for truth would have been a much better like like motivator than her just wanted to get through school. Like that could be like
Yeah.
an overarching thing, like the primary motivation of her being there. But there's nothing in the story to drive her forward. That's what I am very disappointed about.
Yeah. There was no reason for her to have any kind of self-reflection the way most other Gundam protagonists do. And she just did not feel like a human character until the last couple of episodes. And then, like, don't even get me started on the plot device that is the Calibarn.
The name in and of itself is contrived because they read it backwards. Like everything, like they called everything Lefrith, and there's no like links to any Shakespearean names whatsoever. And then there's suddenly the Gundam Calibarn. Somebody must have been really into Shakespeare in at Stella 101. Somebody must have really
Gaki,
been into Shakespeare. But
Gaki, I'm printing out your comment and getting it framed. That is hilarious. Kira was arguably a better protagonist than Suletta.
yes, I would argue that Strike Kira specifically, Strike Kira is a better character than Suletta Mercury. Sure, he's an Umbra ripoff, but still.
Yeah. But that was kind of the point. It was meant to be a modern reboot, and then they kind of decided to just do their own thing.
They decided to do their own thing in the most unjustified way possible by having Kira survive deathly
Yeah.
odds. But still, Strike Kira has more character development than Suletta Mercury because he actually has an active conflict, like fighting his friend unwillingly because they're on opposite sides of the war. And
Mhm.
it's until like he accidentally killed Nicole, and Atheron actually gets to kill Toll that their friendship truly snapped and they just wrecked each other, and then we get the legendary duel of Strike versus Aegis. Like he has more character conflicts than Suletta Mercury. She's just there
Yeah.
fighting for others' whims instead of her own.
She is the pilot of the Ariel until her mom decides that it's time to enact her crazy plan of resurrecting her original daughter.
That in and of itself is ridiculous because what is Gund for? Like Gund is is basically permat laced prosthetics.
Yeah.
So if they can build Gund prosthetics, if they can build Gund arms, what's stopping them from building a human-sized Gund mannequin and transferring Ares' consciousness into that mannequin? Like the whole Ghost in the Machine thing is just ridiculous because it's like they have the technology to build a giant vessel and part of a vessel. Like, am I right or am I right?
Space magic.
Perma score 5 and beyond is space magic.
Yeah. Because we need to build giant robot. Yes, exactly. Gundam is not about small robot. It's about giant robot.
And so begins the tunnel vision, eh? Oh yeah, Ko Yuraki is I don't know. The only thing I remember about him is that he doesn't like carrots. Because we need to build giant robot. Yeah, Tintin. Yeah. So that's my mom says so. Yeah, that's basically her character until she got everything taken away from her.
Yep.
I don't care if the Jewish stands are gonna eat me alive. I don't care. Like, because if they can live with the flaws, props to them. If they want to argue with the plot and say that that mediocre writing is perfectly fine, with the whole intent of me taking them seriously, then they can just save their breath, to be honest. Like a doomsday weapon just so happened to be able to shut down by one code carried by the specific one person. Like,
Yeah.
if that's not a coincidence, I don't know what is.
A giant communications laser that just shows up at the end.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
this giant not colony laser that just shows up at
Yeah.
the end, and I don't know, it just decides to it just shows up out of nowhere. Like the colony laser was at least established to be a thing in 0079. Like that thing was just out of nowhere.
Truly. Like it felt like they kind of were just like, all right, we almost have bingo on our Gundam series tropes card. We need giant super weapon now.
Yeah, they even ticked off Gundam X by having the remote control mobile suits. So yeah, giant space colony, not colony laser. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And what's even more ridiculous is how Perma Score 10 is actually what I said it to be. Rainbow Shell Unit. Well, it technically is called Perma Score 8 plus, but might as well be 10, let's be honest. Rainbow Shell Units, somehow with the power of 4 Gundams, one of which I don't know why it's even there. Managed to
Which one? correct?
Yeah, Faract. It doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
And just managed to deploy a disruption field that is hundreds of thousands of miles in radius. Like, come on. But
They did
anyways, yeah.
what the unicorn did and made it colorful.
No, the unicorn can still be like there's still suspension of belief because it's a defensive field. It's nothing really
Yeah.
too out of the ordinary. It's a beam shield. Let's be honest. But a an override field that spans across multiple Lagranges, like come on.
Yeah.
Far it doesn't have to be there. Nobody's gonna pilot this, so why take it? It's dead weight. It's just there for the final seance. That's it. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And how about? I completely why I don't know why I completely forgot about Aerie being in a keychain. That's the prime
Oh
example of a
yeah.
small vessel. So the plot of G Wish didn't have to exist to begin with.
They had to reach space magic level of permit score so that they could put Aerie in something smaller.
Yeah.
That was basically the whole plan that Prospera had.
Yeah. I love the memes that came after it though.
Yeah.
Unicorn is too perfect of a Gundam that's basically on par with Turn A. No, Turn A makes more sense because it's basically the repetition of war coming to like a very horrific close, and then just being rediscovered like many years later. So I still buy Turn A's power and why it's that powerful. It's basically the end of civilization, like the grim ending of war. End the stream off a positive note. This hat of mine is burning red. Yeah, Gundam Master is coming down. Gundam Master is on its way here. I mean, on par with Turn A, that they're both extremely technologically advanced, and also the Unicorn is the only Gundam in the entire series that's never taken any damage, even by Neo Zeon. If you want to talk about damage, you have to talk about animation. But yeah, in terms of good animation, yeah, Unicorn didn't take any damage. So did Strike Freedom. Proper, not Strike Freedom Type 2. But if you talk about like more modern animation, they really are just shying away from detailed damage. Like ever since Build Divers, like compare like Build Divers, Build Metaverse, Breaker Battle Log to Build Fighters proper. Like there's nowhere near as much level of damage in the succeeding series compared to Build Fighters. It's just sad. Finish the Goof flight type. Jesus, I think I can make the regular Goof custom. There's so many leftover parts. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. If you can build a second kit out of leftover parts, then Shining Break flashbacks.
Sounds like an Advance of Zeta kit.
I'm not looking forward to the Gap Land. What did they have the whole Hazel runner for? The shield booster. That's it.
Yeah. How I feel about starting my TR1 Hazen Flay raw.
The TR1
box
Heisenplay, the TR1 Heisenplay isn't that bad to be honest, but the TR1 Heisenplay Raw 2 is the one that's gonna just grind your gears because it has leftovers from the core kits and the originals, and because they needed 2 white feet pieces, they reprinted the entire runner in white. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I feel like that's one I'll have to just cut all of the actual parts out in advance, so I'm not sorting through 30 runners trying to find the one piece it needed to get
Yeah.
repressed for.
Yeah, good luck with that. A kit that has leftovers on the leftovers. Yeah, I've seen
This
Schizophonic Nine's reviews of the Gap plant, and I'm so not looking forward to that video. Must be off later. Yeah, nice for having you, Matt. And we're almost ending the stream anyway. We're just wrapping up some chats. The Wing Finiche versus Starbell Strike has more damage than them combined. Yeah, but yeah, it's just the animation team that's the problem. So yeah,
yeah.
it's too pretty. We don't want our heroes to be damaged as much, even under unreal circumstances. So we mustn't keep them damaged. That's Ferrari logic right there. My biggest unanswered concern question from Witch for Mercury is how piloting a Gundam causes you to become a permit ghost. But do you actually need to die to have your consciousness cloned into the permit cloud? Not necessarily. Like, from what I can tell, like, some people have been telling me to update my permit, my gun format video, because that adds up to prologue. But permit score 1 is activation, permit score 2 is deeper affinity, score 3 gives you control of the bits, because score 2 doesn't give you enough control. Score 4 is basically limits or disengage. I don't know what score 5 is. Neither do I know score 6, but it's basically just plot devices. And the more the score goes up, the deeper your affinity with the machine is. And the deeper the data storm starts to take a hold of you. And so, because of the overwhelming data storm, your brain gets overwhelmed, and then and then your consciousness gets uploaded into the permit data in higher scores or above. So that's why you see Sophie and Noria in there. I don't know. That's just basically a spitball guess. Gio was trying to do what Narrative did that IBO attempted what Blue Destiny did. Yeah, Kira logic right there. Yeah, I wonder how the Force Ghost in Witch from Mercury works. I don't know. Wacky, if you're watching, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge, but even I don't understand how the gun format works, because they didn't go into explaining how that works. That's what Vanada's heart is for. Does everyone who pilots a Gundam have their consciousness cloned even when they're still alive? It's more like the ghost in the data storm grabbing a hold of your soul, and if you disconnect from that, it loses hold. So if you get killed because of the data storm, then you fully become the ghost. It's like an ethereal power to communicate with the dead that has synchronized with the data storm. I don't know. This is why Zaku's are the heroic mobile suit. I haven't seen a mentally ill child being forced into a Zaku 2. Fair enough, because you just see kids being shoved into Gundams just because either they stole it or they have no choice to. It was a strain. Oh, that's true. So there might be a digital clone of Elan 5. No, Elan 5 doesn't have it because he's not killed by the data storm. So you have to be killed, in order to, like, be able to into the data storm. I genuinely don't know what I'm talking about, but neither does G-Wish, to be honest. Come on, Gaki!
Mika takes first.
Based MJ at it again. Oh my god. We need more non-tricolor League Gundams. I get it's the tradition, but thinking how predominantly yellow or green League Gundams would be super refreshing. Yeah. That's why the Bill Burning was so refreshing, like red as the primary color instead of the Gundam tricolors. But yeah, had to end off a stream on a high note. Yeah. So is there anything you would like to add in, Weston?
I don't think so. No, I saw way earlier in the stream there were a couple people asking about my printed kits. So if you don't mind, I'll plug that real quick and then hand it back over to you to finish things up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so I have an Etsy shop. I am Weston Harris Design on there. That's where you can get pre-printed kits, and I am also on Holtz 3D, also as Weston Harris Design, and that's where you can get files if you have a 3D printer and you want to print it yourself. Um, I'm focusing more on the Etsy stuff, so the files, I won't be adding files as often, but I will still occasionally add something fun. I think I've got a couple of files in the works and got I have like a million projects I'm working on right now. Um, but yeah, just I think most recent release is the Gundam Schwarzet's Guardian weapon. You can grab that in case you wanted extras and didn't want to buy a whole new kit for it.
Mm. And yeah, I'll be having some of his weapons to review later down the line, hopefully before July, based on my backlog. But yeah, I'll be reviewing more of his stuff later down the line. And and of course I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna hold no punches, but I'm gonna be fair as well. So if you want some of the G Witch weapons, you can definitely consult Weston Harris. And of course there are some other G Witch weapons which don't have a kit form as of this stream that he has made. So definitely, if you want some of those, definitely check out his Etsy page. And if you want some of the older stuff like a 1-to-144 Scale Trinity, then you can go on his Cults 3D page if you want to have the files to print them yourself.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. Yeah, I have kind of been riding the Witch from Mercury train for a little bit, and now I'm going to get back to just doing odd kits, designs I think are cool, G-Reco stuff, mostly things that I'm fairly confident Bandai would never make a kit of.
Mm. And of course, if you
But
have
yeah,
some suggestions you want to relay, you want me to relay to Weston Harris, definitely drop it in the comments if you're watching the VOD. But yeah, so that's basically all we have for the stream. So yeah, thank you all for being here and shout out to all the members that have joined the channel at, as of this stream. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here, and hopefully I'll get this done, get the Rouge done before I need to go home on Sunday. So yeah, look forward to those videos as well. Thank you all so much for popping by, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Good night. And no, Theo, the metallic red parts are injected, so no undergates, injected parts. Expect a few nubs here and there. So yeah, see ya.